Well, a very good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream today. It's the 12th of June 2020, coming in unbelievably at 3 minutes past 9 in the morning here in the United Kingdom. I've just had my breakfast, and I don't think we've ever had a live stream at this ungodly hour, but there's only one reason why we're streaming at this time, because it wouldn't be correct for me to go to a country that's been requested quite a bit, which is New Zealand, without having the opportunity for any of my Kiwi friends and guys down under to potentially watch this live. So this stream is basically for all you guys the other side of the planet here having a lovely Friday evening and perhaps can watch a Flight Deck to Sim live stream live for the first time. So that's great to see. So great to see there's quite a few people here already. We've got loads of the members coming in. Thank you very much to Daniel Grieve, who just signed up as a member as well during the intro there. Welcome on board, sir. And you'll get invited to our members only Discord where you get to enjoy some exclusive content. So thank you very much. As per usual now with the sterile cockpit, the alerts are off until we put the gear up now. I've actually linked it to the gear up, which is pretty cool. So it just helps me do the setup in a little bit more peaceful here. So we've got Pokey Ishia say good morning, Rika de Rids, Kia ora, Fiendi Gurin, Owen Thomas, way to go, Fly Day to Sim, he says, Deke Wayers is here, good morning, he says, Ian Perez, T.Y. Walker, Bill Barrett here as well. I think, Bill, you're Australia, I think you remember you saying. I try and remember as many people as I can, but it's pretty tough these days. CR Studio says, I'm loving this new intro track. Well, new for me. Good morning and chat, everyone. Yeah, we've got a few other things lined up, but I quite like that one. We still have the original one, and we've got something lined up as well for the future. But yes, here we are in Auckland, New Zealand, our first ever time in New Zealand. This scenery, if you scroll in the video description below, it's all freeware scenery today. Now we're not running the sim live time. That's because I wanted to enjoy all the wonderful Ortho 4 experience scenery that is here to offer today. So we are running the sim minus 12 hours live time. So right now in New Zealand, I think it's 4 minutes past 8 in the evening. It's 4 minutes past 8 in the morning in the sim. So the sun will rise. We're going to be leaving Auckland. There is a VATNZ event going on, I think, this evening as well. We're going to go from Auckland to Christchurch, flight time of around 1 hour or so. And then we're going to have a quick turnaround, and we're going to go from Christchurch to a very, very short flight to Queenstown. It's only going to be out 40 minutes or so. The reason we're going to Queenstown is it has one of the most spectacular approaches I think you could possibly find in the world. It was requested. I asked a few of the guys, where do you want to go in New Zealand? They went, oh, Queenstown, we've got to go to Queenstown. So we're going to go 2 sectors, take part in the VATSIM event on the first sector, then we're going to make our way to Queenstown. But we're going to do a few more sectors in New Zealand in the next few weeks anyway, because I've downloaded all the Ortho 4 XP. We might jump in a few other aircraft. But of course, it would go out saying every time we like to visit a new country, we try and fly the infamous ZIBO mod. So let's zoom on in a little bit quicker. It's getting quite busy here with alpacas on the main terminal, so I'm just parked here on my lonely sum. I'm on a remote stand 72, all completely cold and dark, nothing set up at all here. So here we are. A little spin of the aircraft in the new livery from Icefire, so thank you very much for again Icefire for making that for me. It's very kind. But I understand there's a few Americans here. I think Michael Bogner, you're stateside, so it must be getting quite late for you. I can't believe a lot of guys here. It's very difficult to cater for everyone live, but this one is sort of an earlier one. We're just doing off the cuff there. But yeah, here we are. As I said, the scenery is completely free. I'm just going to quickly scroll down in the video description below. It's by Kiwi the Ewick for Auckland. There was no payware scenery for any of the airports at all today. But anyway, let's jump on in. We are on the network already, but we'll get as much of the setup done as possible. And yeah, it's going to be a nice, simple, hopefully 2 sectors. The second sector to Queenstown could be quite interesting. As it says, it's an RNAV approach. It's an authorization required RNAV approach, but it works quite nicely. We tested it yesterday, and it seemed to work completely fine there. Right, let's jump on into the flight deck. Let's pop the battery on. GPU's on the bus. Electric hydraulic pumps coming on. Landing gear lever. We've got 3 green lights there, 3 green lights there. We then check all the aircraft documentation to make sure it's all okay. I say we're running 12 hours before. It looks like we're running 12 hours and 2 minutes because the actual time is 06 and I've got 08 here. It's fine. It's a couple of minutes away, so we'll leave it as it is. Working our way on down here. I don't think we've done too many flights in the Southern Hemisphere either. I mean, we did the Quito Bogota stream the other day where we crossed the equator, but I think this is the first time we've actually been properly south of the equator, so that's quite cool. Cool, let's do all the fault fire tests. There we go. Working our way up here, so we'll turn the panel lighting up, even though it is going to be getting brighter for our stream. We'll pop that on. Let's see how much fuel we need for this sector. So here's the first flight plan to Christchurch. Flight of 1 hour 12 minutes. and it needs 5-6:30. Now, it's a VATNZ event. I think it won't be as busy as some of them, so we'll take a smidgen extra. We'll take 15 minutes or so, which is going to be 600 kilos on top of that. So if we call for 5-7, if we ask for 6.3 tons of fuel, that should be more than sufficient for today. So we'll go to fuel, weight and balance, payload, fuel, 6,300. Enter. Whilst we're here, we've got 100 passengers today. The reason I'm using 100 passengers at the moment, as we've discussed a few times in the last few versions of the ZIBO mod, the flat model needs some slight tweaking, and with this gross weight, it sort of gives me the correct pitch and power I'd expect for a fully loaded plane, which is what they're typically like, so that's what I've set there. So that's all good. Payload total set, and call for the fuel truck. There we are. Here comes the Australian Jet A1 fuel coming on board the aircraft right away. Owen Thomas, Flight Deck Sim, you will have to cross the ditch to Oz when you next come down. Yeah, Owen, I think we eventually go to Australia. We'll probably leave New Zealand to do that. I mean, what's the flight time there? It's going to be around 3 hours or so that'll be a cool flight to do, probably in the 7.5 or something. Cool, so working our way up here. Test the attend button. We'll pop that to steady. Everything's where he should be here. Flaps are up, matching the indicator position. There's the takeoff config warning horn test. Abtractor switches are normal. Cargo fire test. No detector fault. That's doing as we expected. Rudder on trim we check. Later on, circuit breakers are in. Emergency escape rope. There we are, up to here. Mac airspeed warning test. Wait a little bit longer for the stall warning test. Put that to VHF1. Nav, put us some dome lighting in here, heading STS to 7 minutes, and then working our way here. And now we can commence the boarding. Right, start flight deck, perfect. What's the MFK on the passenger menu, says James? What's the meals? I think that's what you're referring to. I don't know, what does a New Zealander typically eat? We always have alpaca themed food and merchandise, but not so much today. Someone else who I work for, thanks for helping me out with that. Bob's alias, and like all you other folk in the other hemisphere, probably I'll have a beer later. Brilliant. Cool, right, it's fish and chips. Fair enough. Kiwi fruit. Very good. Felis Lepeteer as well, streamers morning. Nice. Yeah, we're here, Felis, for all the guys in Australia and New Zealand, seeing it's our first time here, so that's pretty cool. Right, so let's now grab the weather from the ATIS. So we've got ATIS on at 127.8. And then probably grab the clearance a little bit early, because they do things a little bit differently here in New Zealand. Instead of giving you your SID and flight plan routing, they have these kind of standard route clearances, which essentially clear you all the way to your destination. And so once you've got that standard route clearance, you check it against the table and the charts, which I've already got open. So I've never received it. It'll be quite interesting to see how that is. But just grab the weather.
Expect ILS DME approach runway 05 right. Runway condition dry. Wind calm.
23.
Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Cloud. Few clouds of 2700 foot. Temperature 12. Dew point 11. QNH 1028.
High pressure then.
On first contact with Auckland ATC, notify receipt of echo.
Perfect.
Auckland information echo. Show issued at 0730 Zulu. Expect ILS DME approach runway 05 right. Runway condition dry. Wind calm. Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Cloud.
Perfect, so we grabbed all the weather. I was expecting runway 23 for departure, but the ATIS says 05. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. Christian, I'm just scrolling up here. Mariners Point Sewing Count Morning. If you get a chance, could you describe the purpose and reasoning for using the course selectors? I do it as they are on the checklist, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Thank you. Well, Christian, typically for departure on an aircraft like this, we're not physically using the course selectors. It's really for kind of a raw data backup. So when we're flying a conventional SID with VORs and radials, we'll set this up as a backup. So if you look at any of my 727 streams, 737, 200 streams, where we don't have an MCP or an FMC, I'm setting the courses accordingly, and then as a backup we do that if possible. Now, there's an RNAV SID like today, just set them to the runway heading and the course, and you know, it's something, and it means what I usually do is if there's nothing there, I tune the ILS that's in use. So you know, if there's a problem, I know I can come straight back here. The ILS is already tuned, but there's no hard rule with regards to that. Assad 05 right is correct. Okay, that's fine. So we'll plan for that departure. In fact, what I'll do then, a little bit earlier, I'll grab the clearance now, because I'm not sure what we could be doing. So it's 1187. There's no point setting everything up for a different runway in use.
Jetstar 416.
He's got it down as runway 05 right, is active in Auckland, is that right?
So I'll stand 72.
Jetstar 416, affirm 05 right active.
So that's confirmed the runway in use. Auckland Tower, very good evening. We're at Alpaca. 4 November Zulu, we're on stand 62, copy information Echo QNH 1028, departure clearance to Christchurch, please.
Alpaca, good evening to you, sir. Auckland Tower. Delivery and ground appear to be online. Contact Auckland Ground 121.9er.
I'll talk to you later. 1219 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Cheers.
4 November Zulu, no problems. Talk to you shortly.
Perfect. So I forgot it'd be a VATNZ event, and I always just went to tower, but they have both ground and delivery. So never mind. You know what to do in chat, guys. 128.2. Yep, you got it, Sim Slater. Right, let's say all that again. Actually, I better just set the correct QNH. So I was looking at that thinking I forgot to set the QNH. Right, 1028, and we'll set the MFRA of 1040. Excuse me. Right, let's try again. Auckland clearance, good day. It's Alpaca 4 November Zulu on stand 62 information Echo QNH 1028 738 departure clearance to Christchurch, please. Stand 72. Sorry, not 60.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Auckland delivery, good evening. It's information Echo current QNH 1028, cleared to Christchurch 1, Pagler 3 Quebec departure, Carl transitions, walk 5076 and your flight level 380.
Copied flight level 380, squawk 5706 via Carl. Just confirm the SID again, Alpaca 4 November Zulu.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, I'll just start again because I messed that up a little bit to be honest. So you're cleared the Christchurch 1 standard routing, flight level 380, Pagler 3 Quebec departure, Carl transition, and the squawk is 5076.
Thank you. Cleared to the Christchurch via the Christchurch 1 standard routing, climb flight level 380, transition via Carl, and flight level 380 expected, squawk 5076, Alpaca 4 November Zulu.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, mostly correct. I'll put the departure in text for you, and then contact ground 121.9er.
Probably the best way. Thank you very much, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Good day. Yeah, that was partly my fault because the Christchurch one, I just wanted to confirm the transition with him because it's via Carl, and I've got a different flight plan still here. So let's have a look here. It's a Pagler 3 Quebec. Okay, Pagler. What did I say? Did I say something completely different? Pagler 4 Quebec via Carl. There we go. So let's get the squawk in. 5076. Perfect, and then we'll go over to ground very shortly. So 5076, and it's the Pagler 3 Quebec. So what he was going on about with standard routings, which I only found out about yesterday, if we go here to airport. So you have all these standard route clearances. It took me a while to find the required chart here. I can tell you've only just woken up, Captain. Did I say I'm cold transition 3 Quebec? Yeah, I know. I got it eventually. But he's just sent me via text what the SID is, thankfully. We got this Christchurch 1. So here's the the flight plan and a designator for that. And what you need to kind of do, I guess, is just check this against your... I don't know if you can do this in Avitab on the charts at the same time, but that is the flight plan we have filed with SimBrief, which is the one we're going to go for to punch into the information. So at least we know all the information we need for departure here. So QNH is set, MFRA is set. Working our way onto the control panel on the EFIS. Let's select terrain, airports. Let's turn this up here and AFDS, and we'll jump on into the FMC. So let's get rid of that. Go to charts. Right. So enter our IS position. We'll do that in 2 seconds. So we're in Auckland, November Zulu Alpha Alpha. Excuse me. And we're going to put our GPS left. There you go. Looks 37 degrees. It's winter here in Auckland, I think. I think it's pretty nippy around this part of the world here. I think Christchurch, it was around 3 degrees this morning, looking at the weather, just before I went to bed. We're going to Christchurch, which is November Zulu Charlie Hotel. We are the Alpaca for November Zulu. I think you can see what I did there. We're going to go to departures. We're going to be runway 05 right as expected. Being told it's the Pagla 3 Quebec. There we go. Via Carl. And then from Carl we're going to put in the standard routing, which you can expect that I pointed out on that chart as well. So we're going to go from Carl, let's go to Legs route. Here, Hotel 384. And enter November Papa. And then we're going to be going Hotel 252 to November Sierra. And then a Yankee 288. Peaks. And I am expecting runway 20 in Christchurch. We'll leave it off that one there. So arrivals ILS 20. Now what did I select yesterday? Of the 1 million approaches available. I can't remember. So I think we're going to go Peaks 8 Bravo first. Oh yeah, ILS S20. I can only remember seeing one yesterday. Let's go for the top one. ODC, that's the transition. I think that's all good. Activate execute. 416, and it says here 424. Okay, that sounds good. If you're on arrival, we'll update shortly there. Cool, so let's have a look here. Is it me or can I hear background music? It's probably the boarding music. Probably the boarding music you can hear, but unless Marianne is playing something in the background, but I don't think she is. She's not. She's just come up from with her breakfast. 0 fuel weight, 51.8 reserves to get to Wellington. That's our alternate 2.5. Cost index 30. Cruising at flight level 380 today. Execute. That's set up there. Elevation in Christchurch. What is that? I did make a bit note of it. So 123 feet. So 100. Put 100 feet there. Cool. Top of climb winds is 261.58. ICE deviation is 2. N1 limit page. No accurate performance data here. Full 22k will suffice. 91.4. And the temperature on the ATIS will update automatically here. But yeah, it was 12 degrees. Takeoff then. Flat 5. And the V-speeds are set for departure 29, 30, 39. CG 5.75. Perfect. That is set, and then 39139 come up here on the MCP. Cool, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Morning coffee or Red Bull required. It is early. To be fair, we haven't been up this early for a while because we go to bed so late at the moment. We've been furloughed, so but we actually went to bed just after midnight, which is the earliest we've been to bed in ages. Tend cool. Window heat can come on now. Gentize, A pumps are off, trim air on, auto, auto, APU please off, the rest is set. Right, so just need to select the SID because I selected everything else. We're happy with the standard route clearances which we've already been given. There's our parking stands taxi, which we'll brief shortly. Let's go now to our departures, and we want to select the Pagla 3 Quebec. Perfect. So here is the Pagla 3 Quebec. Let's start with the taxi routing first. We're on this remote stand here, which is stand 72. Why I kept saying 62, I have no idea. But we're stand 72. It's always worthwhile making sure you tell everyone the correct stand when you get the clearance. But the clearance is a bodge from me. It's going to push back to face east. On the chart, it only shows you one exit, but on the scenery you can go by both ways. So very likely for us to face east. Taxi then, we're going to go out via Bravo Alpha. This time we're going to make a right turn to taxi. We'll take we don't need to backtrack, so it goes straight off of 05 right. And then the SID, it's an RNAV SID, so RNAV 1 standard departure, GNSS required, which we have. We're going to climb straight ahead to Actum. Actum, and then going to go to Madvi, max 210 knots until the turn's complete. So we're going to bug up and hold the up speed until we're inbound to Vinod, and then from Vinod we're going to go to Pagla. Pagla at 10,000. We're then going to make our routing to Brett. Not Brett. What was it called? Carl. Brett Carl. We got there eventually. Pagla. So it says Limes Carl at Limes Carl. So it's exactly what we have with the SID. So we're happy with the SIDs all set correctly. There's no mention of any stop altitude here. So the other SIDs did. It's all at or above 6,000. So all I'm going to do is just stick in 10,000 here, and then we'll confirm with departure what we can expect here. Brett, routing to me. Yeah, I get you all a bit confused. So that's all good. I hope you're happy with all of the SID. Let's just set the runway QDM and track. Let's go 051. And 051. I could tune the ILS as we were talking about earlier, but I'm just going to leave it today. Flight rate's on because I don't have the charts, so it'd be a bit of a pain to open all the charts on every tab. Cool. Order brake to RTO. Reset this. We'll put this to the takeoff page. Legs we have. Trims all set. Looking good. So let's get the APU started, and we'll get ready for our pushback. So we're due off at 3-0. We're looking like an on-time schedule today. Fantastic. Let's go ground services. Look, before I forget, let's retract the air stairs. Close the door. There you go. You can hear the door closing in the background. Better pushback. Request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to
It's
go.
a very short pushback. It's going to be something like this. Perfect.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Requested as well. Perfect. So he's on the way. Cool. The FPS is looking good. Yes. 48. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So it's quite a few aircraft here. Look, we've got aircraft pushing back. We've got two alpacas, a few WestJets. They're a little bit lost. SH Airlines, but yeah, we're going on our way. It could be really nice with the Ortho 4XP today. Alex D, what's the call sign? Alpaca 4 November Zulu. If you look right at the top of the page, you'll get all the flight information, including our ATC call sign. Just realised my Discord's open in the background now, so we'll back out of that. Cool, let's get ground tuned 1219 at... Oh, excuse my little tickle today.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Unbelievable.
1206 Auckland ground, good evening. Push and start is approved. Time now coming up to 7.
Michael, are you expecting ATC all stream? I think for the first sector, certainly at the departure and arrival point. I think someone did say earlier they're coming on to Queenstown. There's an Alpaca Airways departing, scraping the tail along the runway like we usually do. Pull up. Is he going to get airborne? Okay, our first departure in New Zealand, and we've ended up in the drink.
So
Oh, bye.
And Bypass pin inserted.
Up, pull up,
Release
pull
parking
up.
brake.
Oh dear, I think that's more of an issue with VATNZ as opposed to him actually scraping the tail along the departure point of New Zealand. Right, we'll get the push start ready. Look at that, 2 minutes ahead of schedule. Very good. Auckland ground. Good evening, Alpaca. 4 November Zulu. On stand 7-2. Request push and start.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Auckland ground, good evening. Push and start approved, time now 2-8.
Push start approved, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Perfect, so we've been cleared to push and start, so we get the AP on the bus. Air conditioning packs off, open, AP bleed on, anti-collision light is on, parking brake is set, transponder out off, we are cleared to go. And look at that, an on-time Alpaca Airways departure. I knew this day would come.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Perfect. Dan Williams, what does he mean now by times 2.8? So yeah, obviously we're not running live time. I'm minus 12 hours live time, so they usually confirm some departures, you know, the full time, which right now is not 2029 Zulu, I think it's 0829 Zulu, obviously.
Yeah, Roger, we'll be able to make
So starting engine number 2.
There's not a problem. Break. Alpaca 595, push and start approved. I'm now 2-8.
I'm sorry, repeat instructions.
Alpaca 595, push and start approved.
Push and start approved.
Sounding good, there's 25%.
70, stand Bravo 10, requesting push and start.
1670, Auckland ground, good evening. Push and start approved.
Good sound, Hugo, I love the sound, it is good.
Push approved, 1670.
Ed Moore, good morning to you, sir, you doing well? Dan Williams, but why do they tell you the time when push and start? It's just to confirm, you know, I guess it's from, I don't really fully know, but it's just to confirm that you're happy with the time, your clock's correct. It's just, this clock works off GPS, so just making sure everything's happy. Guys, send my narrow text, right? We'll start now, engine number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Annie Zuka, is it meant to say VATNZ in the description? No, it's meant to say VATNZ. Oops. I'll change that now. There you go. N2 fuel flow.
Airpo 1206. Taxi holding point.
Oh, Thomas, is that the default sound pack for the 737 ZIBO mod? Yeah, it comes with Audio Bird XB's audio.
Give way to the A321.
So it is a custom F mod sound pack, but it comes with the mod. Thank you very much for the 420 of you watching. Incredible this time of day. I know there's a lot of guys in Australia and New Zealand, but a lot of my usual viewers are here as well in Europe, so I'm sure you're meant to be probably at work or doing something else, but of course many of you are probably furloughed too. Right. Off it goes.
Auckland ground, good evening. Alpaca 71, stand 2-1, request push and start.
Perfect, you showed us the bypass pin, we're all ready to go. So, generators on, APU off, start switch is continuous, probe heat on, anti-ice off, air conditioning packs, auto, AP bleeds off, rest is set, flaps, 2-5, flight controls, forward, back, left, centre, right, centre, here comes the rudders. Full right, centre, full left, centre, recall. Let's blank the lower DU, and that's it. We then read the before taxi checklist. Who's this messaging me here? So what time is it for you over there, Mr. Flight Deck to Sim? It's currently right at 9:30 in the morning, so not too early, not too early. It's more than acceptable to do a stream at this time, but usually we stream in the evening. Right, we're all ready to taxi. It looks like we'll probably have to give way to our colleague. Oh, he's just disappeared off the face of the earth. Alpacas do have that magic trick of doing that. Cool, so now let's request taxi. We'll get the charts up for you so you can see where we Perfect. Alpaca 4 November Zulu, request taxi.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, taxi holding point Alpha 10, runway 05 right, via Delta 2, Delta, Juliet, and Alpha.
Cleared to taxi to 05 right via Alpha 10, Delta 2, Delta, Juliet, and Alpha, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Perfect. So another message coming in now.
And Alpaca 4 November Zulu, just caution, and Alpaca 737 pushing back onto Delta 1.
Roger, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Cool. Right, so our taxi clearance was Alpha 1 Quebec. Again, just not clear at all. 05 right via Delta 2, so
Alpaca
there's
595,
Delta 2.
taxi holding point Alpha 10,
out via Juliet
runway 05
here.
right, via Bravo 6 and Alpha.
And then Alpha, so it's nowhere near as clear as we like. It's clear enough on there, so there's Juliet at the gate exit point, so we just need to make sure we take the first right to Bravo, not onto Alpha. Right, so
Alpaca 595, taxi holding
just
point
turn him
Alpha
down a bit, sorry guys,
10,
he's very loud.
runway 05 right, via Bravo 6 and Alpha.
Cool. So release parking brake, there's the config, no takeoff config warning horn. Now, is he on my line? No, he's not, he's on his own pushback line, so...
595, correct, brake, Alpaca 21, Tango, contact Auckland Tower 118.7.
Oh, he's disappeared again.
Over to Auckland Tower 118.7. Yeah, and Europe 1206, same to you, contact Auckland Tower 118.7.
Caution, Alpaca reversing. He keeps disappearing and reappearing. Look at that, Alpaca, the truly global airline. So just taking a real trickle here, just because I think wingtip clearance would be more than fine.
10, runway 05 right, via Kilo and Alpha, give way to the 737 on Alpha right.
Holding point Alpha 10 by Kilo and Alpha.
The alpacas are invading New Zealand, says Rosie Gaming. You got it.
An Alpaca 738 for corner 670.
Listen, is there any airline operating globally? Yes, Alpaca Airways.
Ground Alpaca 71, request taxi.
Oh, he's requested taxi at the same time.
Alpaca 71, taxi holding point Alpha 9er, runway 05
So this is quite
right,
interesting.
via Bravo 6 and Alpha.
Hold Alpha 9, 05 right 5.
So we'll take this right here.
Alpaca 71.
This is quite interesting because he's just got his taxi clearance as well, I think. I might just let him trickle on ahead. I presume it was him anyway. It was, so we're just gonna...
Alpaca 595, if you want, you can take hold of one Alpha 9er, and you can contact Power 118.7.
Okay, Alpha 9, contact Tower 118. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.
So we're cleared via Delta 2. That chart's pants. So that would suggest not this first right here, but the next one. There's Delta 2. Just gotta be careful here because I just want to make sure where he's going. But we were told to go right onto Delta 2, and then via Juliet, which is up here. So we're taking the next right, which puts us here, and then we're out via Juliet Gate here. So going out via where the Qantas is there. You see there's the Juliet point. I don't understand why we're not going left and right out via Bravo 6, but do as we were instructed. So next part is Juliet Alpha. We'll give way to our colleague. I know we usually like to have a race, but it's quite cool to be taxiing next to next to them. Where was the street we overtook someone, which was pretty cool? I can remember someone tried to outdo us, but we had a little race here. So here's Juliet. Is he giving way? I feel guilty. Well, technically I did request push and start first. We'll give way to him. So here's Juliet.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu gives way to the company 737 on Alpha.
Wilco, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Perfect. Oh, hold on. I was trying to find where Juliet was. It was not as clear as I thought. Is it going to be one of those days? This is Juliet there. Perfect. It says Kilo on the scenery, but it was Juliet, and I did see the Juliet point behind. But I think that's Kilo, and this is Juliet. Very confusing. Anyway.
670 contact tower 118.7. Have a great flight.
Cool.
7, corner 670, get out.
Auckland, ground 7420, good evening. Ready for push and start.
Brake. Slow right down.
I love station calling, taking full sign only. 5420, Charlie Yankee.
Get a move on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's definitely having FPS issues, I think. Guys, thank you so much for coming in this morning and in the evening for my guys over Australia. 480 of you. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest content. You might never know what time I'm going to stream. And push the little bell notification too. Right, good time now to do the before takeoff checklist. So config, we checked flaps. We have 5 green lights, stab trim set for departure, 5.8 units set. Takeoff briefing. Pack sort of bleeds on. V speeds are 29, 30, 39 set. Probably get handed over here for a second. Departure's going to be a Pagla. Oh.
Contact Tower 118.7 and I'm joining the stream. Have a great flight.
Thank you very much, sir. Tower 118.7. Thanks to ATC Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Cheers. That was very kind of him. Perfect. Next airborne frequency. Where's my first officers in chat?
Qantas 670, good evening.
We spoke to this guy already.
Continue to hold short, 05 right, Alpha 10. Holding short Alpha 10 in Qantas 67.
Cool. Departure clearance then. It's the Pagla 3 Quebec. Bring up the chart here for you. I'm happy with the taxi routing now, so we can get rid of that. So we're going to be climbing straight ahead to Acton, Madabra 3000, right turn to Madvi. There's no stop altitude, I believe, so we've got 10,000 feet set here. Max 210 knots until Madvi, so we're just going to maintain the upspeed until we're after Madvi, NADP2, and that's it. So that just tells the cabin that we're ready for departure.
Radio, we problem with the departures. Continue to hold short, 05 right, Alpha 10.
That's 7.6.
Copy, continue hold short, Qantas 67.
Perfect.
Could have got you up, but unfortunately we've been close. No worries. It's 416, current service wind at tree 0 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right, clear to land. Cover the wind's clear to land, 05 right, just forward. Qantas 670 behind the Jets A320 coming up short finals, line up runway 05 right, behind and wait. About 787.
I've just been informed by my admin controller But I forgot to turn on the slow mode. Apparently had a bit of spam earlier. Behave yourselves. Oh, Freckles, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, Freckles, I completely forgot to turn it on. I thought it was on by default now. And how on earth do I... So, but guys, excuse me here, I'm just putting the slow mode on. The new thing we do is just it just controls things a little bit. There we go. Thanks, Freckles, for pointing that out.
Tower, good evening. Alpaca 295.
Dan, rest in peace, landing gear in front. Yeah, I think he's having a few issues because of the
Alpaca 295,
his FPS.
Approach number 2, minimum approach speed if you could.
Continue approach number 2 and minimum approach speed Alpaca 295.
Coming in. What? Why is a big red X there? You usually find that when something's closed. Yeah, here is the ortho. Zoom level 16, but it's beautiful. And then on the second approach we're going to do today into Queenstown, it's really nice. Sun is rising for us, but obviously it's the evening for the guys here live.
Well, that's 670 cancelled previous. Remain holding short runway 05 right now.
De-aviation, what is slow mode? Slow mode, it just allows you guys in chat to only make one comment every 15 seconds. It just makes it a little bit more tidier, because you get people coming in that just come in post, just more to cause issues. That completely stops it. J1980, the graphics on this game are amazing. Yeah, they're not bad. And bear in mind, X-Plane 11 is now 4 or 5 years old. With the Ortho 4XB, it's which uses photo scenery, and the mesh looks really good, and it just puts the overlays over the top. Now obviously, yeah, look, they've got buildings here, they put trees on top, you get a few little issues like that, but once you get up to above 10,000 feet, and obviously it's not as bright as it could be at the moment, it doesn't look quite as good. He's on gear up, gear down. Thank you very much, Chris Stuttle, for the $2 donation. Very kind of you. I do have the alerts off at the moment. As soon as I pop the gear off, up thumb, come on. He says, "Can we get a cabin greeting and announcement?" Thank you very much. I haven't done a PA or any checklist today. Marianne has to be in a very good mood to do a cabin announcement. Do the checklist. We've done no checklist today. Thank you very much, sir. Tom, is this default airport scenery? No, if you scroll to my video description below, all the scenery is freeware. There was no payware available for any of the airports today, but generally an X-Plane you have
6701 more arrivals before your departure.
You have people who make really good quality scenery. Mr. 6X, this one's okay. You know, he's updated it slightly, so just look good.
416 Alpha 5 to the left.
Mattia Kiora flying to Sim, have a great flight. Thank you very much, Mattia. Jack, is this the latest ZIBO update? It is 3.42.9. It was just again some subtle bug fixes.
Alpha 7 looks like you're exiting on. Glad we could sort you out. Welcome to Auckland. Thanks for flying with us tonight. Alpaca 295, current service wind at tree 0 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right, cleared to land.
We've got Alpaca's landing.
Cleared to land, Alpaca 295, runway 05 right.
There he is. He's the new flaps, which are exclusive to Alpaca Airways, for the huge slots. Adam, can you do a raw data ILS? Yeah, I'll try Rebel 2, Adam, if you like. If I forget, remind me when I'm on the approach. Rosa, how many times ATC is going to say Alpaca tonight? Quite a bit. There's quite a few of us.
It was pretty good.
List of it, flaps 1000.
It was very damn good in the 7.8 to pull off by Alpha 7. Very good.
Someone got off there by...
Love him.
Brilliant.
Let's see how the Alpaca does at what's he doing? He's half a mile at 142 knots.
They're trying to see where Alpaca Airways vacates.
No they're a dodgy airline.
I heard that.
So he's crossed the fence at 142 knots. Let's see what happens. Come on, Alpha 7. Alpha 7, go full brakes.
I love the tower, what banter. He's bonked it on the threshold. Is he going to stop?
Well, he might have done it. Shit.
He could take the high speed.
670, line up at the 05
Brilliant.
right,
Line up and wait.
Dear God. Alpaca 295. Impressive. I'm standing and applauding you, sir. Contact Auckland Ground 121, decimal minor. Thank you for flying with us tonight.
129 decimal minor, Mr. Ground Alpaca 295, thank you, bye-bye.
Perfect.
That was impressive, well done. Qantas 670, airborne contact Auckland Centre 123, decimal 9, current service wind, tree 0 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right.
It's an automatic handover here, 1500 feet, contact departures, I think it's on the SID as well.
Thank you so very much, have a great night yourself.
Yeah, contact Auckland approach as soon as practical to 1500 feet, so they're giving us a 1243, so we'll just confirm the frequency with us.
71 behind the departing 737, line up 05 right and wait.
76.
Behind departing traffic, line up and right, 05 right,
It has to be him. Is that a compass swing point they have here? It's like this 80s a legend, they all are, like, some of them have a great sense of humour. There's a difference between the issues we had last stream where someone was you know, clearly not coping with it, but you can have a level of humorousness which is great, and you get it from real 80 I know this guy's having a few issues because he's the way he's moving. Could be, there he goes. Alex, did the ZFO's TLS steering wheel wrong? We don't have one installed. Oh no, we do. Let's see, turn left. Yes, it is. That is inverted. Just realised. Captain's is fine. Yeah, right, left. Yeah, that'll be a left turn. Yeah, that's the wrong way. I'll let ZIBO know.
Auckland Tower, good day, New Zealand 108. Established ILS 05.
New Zealand 108, current service wind, tree 0 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 05 right.
So we're going to be behind the landing traffic, most likely. Just like the US, they clear to land even though there's another aircraft on the runway. In Europe, that has to be completely clear.
Station calling Auckland Tower, standby. Correction, Alpaca 71, airborne 23, decimal 9er. Auckland controls, service wind currently 330 degrees.
Perfect. We're next.
Right, cleared immediate takeoff.
Immediate takeoff, Alpaca. Thank you.
I said thanks so much. Break, New Zealand 108, apologies. The landing clearance given slightly amiss. Continue approach number 1.
So maybe it is landing clearance. So he gave me his landing clearance, he didn't need to. But that's why he just cancelled landing clearance. I've had landing clearance in real life before and then they've cancelled it. Usually because they can see they can get a departure away or something like that.
Roger that, we are on our minimum approach speed now, New Zealand 108.
I can see that. New Zealand 108.
We're doing well.
New Zealand 108, the previous traffic has just departed. Wind 330 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right, cleared to land.
Clear to land, 05 right, New Zealand 108.
And Will,
108.
why does he keep saying break? It's usually done by a controller when he wants to give information out, which the first bit of information to someone wasn't a clearance, so he doesn't need to read it back. And it just prevents a break, so someone else can transmit if he was perhaps very busy.
Alpaca, follow November Zulu, Auckland Tower, do you read?
Alpaca 4 November Zulu.
Alpaca, follow November Zulu, Alpha 10, continue to hold short, runway 05 right.
Hold short, 05 right, Alpha 10, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Yeah, we're talking about the break. So if ATC gives you a clearance, for example, Alpaca 4 November Zulu, descend flight level 380, he couldn't then say break because he needs to hear my readback on a clearance like that. So for example, another one would be...
Alpaca, follow November Zulu, behind the A320, short final, runway 05 right. Line up, runway 05 right behind, and wait.
Behind the landing, traffic via Alpha 110, line for wait behind 05 right out back 4 November Zulu. I can't see him. Well, he's there. I can see where he is on here, which is pretty useful, but I don't think he's being depicted. Ah, there he is. With that readback I just did there, though, I should also confirm the aircraft type as well, which I didn't do. Jordan, I only pushed back about 3 minutes before you, and I'm already near halfway down the North Line. We've had a few arrivals in between, Jordan. Perfect, so we've done our bits. Labutta, biggest plane to land at Queenstown is an A321, cool. I saw that, Will. Cheeky. With the IDGs being tacked on the Airbus. It's quite, you probably could have taken off by now. Probably. But that's for the controller to judge, and for me to comply. Wayne DeVick, what is the correct time to engage VNAV? Can I do it on the ground? Absolutely, you can. Oh, he's just there. He is. You can. Oh. Has he crashed? You can actually see where he is though on this, which is pretty useful. There we are. Yeah, you can engage VNAV on the ground. I don't, because at my operator we engage it typically at 3,000 feet after departure. Right, so confirm we've been cleared to line of point A firm. Clear left, yep, the landing traffic's just landed, and then clear right. And then we do the checklist before departure. So MCP is set, transponder, TARA, strobe lights are on, just holding on our takeoff clearance.
Approaching 05 right.
Check.
New Zealand.
So if you had, you know, if you're fully loaded and you need the full length, you might have to backtrack, but here we're fine from the intersection.
Auckland ground 121 decimal 9.
Next left to Alpha 3, contact Auckland ground 121 decimal 9 and 108. Thank you, good night.
On runway
108,
05
thanks for
right.
flying with us tonight.
I can't line up
Very
at the
welcome.
moment. That's not bad. Ooh, the mod does this sometimes. It just jerks off in a direction once you've come to
Alpaca,
a stop.
Power, November, Zulu, airborne contact, Auckland control 123 decimal 9. Current surface wind, tree, 0 degrees, 5 knots, runway 05 right, cleared for takeoff.
Right, 05 right, cleared takeoff. Once airborne, 1239 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Thanks for the great ATC, man. See you soon.
Very welcome. Thank you so very much for flying with us tonight.
Cheers. Right, perfect. So we cleared takeoff. Toga's in chat. Edges are stabilised. Timer. Let's set takeoff thrust. Light forward pressure.
Power 20, Auckland Tower to you read.
90.7.
Go ahead for takeoff.
Perfect. Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal.
My apologies. Cyprus, Power 20, line up runway 05
Checked. Release that forward pressure.
and wait. Line up and wait, runway 05 right.
There's V1.
V1
Rotate 2 to 2.5 degrees per second. And we're airborne.
Positive rate.
Gears coming up. And trim.
Beautiful part of the world and no coronavirus either.
Bye bye, Auckland. We'll be back soon. Cool.
1,000.
And that is now
Cyprus, Power 20.
Command 8 and bug up. Still haven't quite trimmed.
Roger that.
June departures 123. So just turn his volume up. turn right down a bit here. There we are. Flaps 1. And flaps up. Perfect. So, you remember that initial turn by Mavdi? Max 210 knots, so we're going to hold at the upspeed until we're outbound from Mavdi, and now we'll contact departures. Auckland, good day, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. We're on the Pagla 3 Quebec, passing 3,800 for flight level 100. What happened to my thrust?
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Auckland Control, hello, identified. Climb flight level 380. Capital SID, turn right, clear direct to Carl, radar terrain.
Climb flight level 380, direct to Carl, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Well, apart from the engines cutting off all the way to idle, I think we're okay. Right, 380 set. You saw that, didn't you? Right, standard set. Passing 48 for flight level 380. He was direct to Carl, which is great. Executes. Insufficient fuel, that's a little bug, and there we are, after takeoff checklist. So air conditioning and pressurization, diff pressure is 2.9, climbing, the pressure's fine, so set, and altimeter's standard set, passing 6.5, flight level 380, just going to go direct to Carl again, release the cabin crew, as soon as the wings are level, we'll engage VNAV,
50,
and then we'll do
40,
after takeoff
30,
checklist.
20,
completely after takeoff checklist.
10.
There we are, there's VNAV, perfect. Thank you very much, Nasda, for the £4.27. It says, binge watching your flights. Made me start flying X-Wing again.
2-1 Tango, contact Christchurch Control 1.
Currently flying Bournemouth to Billund, I think that is, Nasda. Well, thank you very much, donation. Have a safe flight, sir. Thanks for popping in. Oh, transition level. Ah, yes, transition level is 13,000, Damien. At my operator, as soon as we cleared to a flight level, we set standard regardless of what the position of the transition altitude. So it's just out of my operator's SOPs.
Auckland Centre, good evening, Cyprus 420.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Paul.
Development transition on 2000 feet.
Marley, dual engine failure at 3,000 feet, turn back or put down somewhere ahead. Marley, in the 7-3, it could be several factors. I mean, obviously, when you do your PPL, you're told to never turn back and stuff. I mean, at 3,000, you've got enough energy to immediately lower the nose, turn around, and probably make it and stuff. But if it's at 500 feet, no, you've got to try and make that judgment call. Yeah, if something like that happened, I'd do an immediate 180-degree turn, lower the nose so you don't stop.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Acre 002 for the £3, very kind of you again. Saluting all Kiwis, he says, apologies Captain, cannot follow the stream much today, need to monitor ATC, we'll review later. Well, thank you very much, Acre 002 for the continued support, thanks for popping in as well. Very, very kind of you. Right, so the pre-cruise checks, fuel 4 pumps, 5.5 on board, we should be arriving with 2.7, that's perfect. Lights coming off. Logos off, APUs off, pressurization set, 4.5. Release the passengers, recall.
5905, thank you.
1215, perfect. Jason, please. Tom wants an outside view, there you go. As we get further south, the scenery gets more and more spectacular, especially on the Southern Islands, so it's still quite pretty here, but you'll see later on, and on the second sector, it looks really nice. Yeah, Ortho looks good. This is just standard Bing maps. I know there's a guy who has Ortho, which has been colour corrected, but I had a good explore of this route yesterday, and all of it looks spectacular. The Bing maps are a pretty good source for New Zealand. Cool. ETA. Bear in mind, obviously, running 12 hours behind lifetime is just a tad over an hour. Awesome, Renz, what do you think of the Flight Simulator 2020 so far? I've had a little play of the alpha. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out, won't we? Dougal, New Zealand Ortho study. It sure is. Does look really good. Tony, in terms of scenery, what's the most noticeable difference between sim and real world when flying? I mean, Ortho 4XP is brilliant, and you know, looking at this, it looks the same. And I could guarantee if I was to take a shot. In fact, one of the things I want to do is when I hopefully get back flying, is I'm going to take some shots out the flight deck for you, and then with Ortho side by side, so you can see the difference. One of the things is probably the colour correction and lighting, but I've done some comparison shots before. I think I did one of the Alicante scenery, and what you get at Desktop Simulator is pretty good. John Baswell, are you still under NDA? Anyone in the Alpha? Everyone in the Alpha is under an NDA.
Alpaca 595, contact Christchurch Control 123, days for 7, just let them know you're direct to peak.
Craig, what is Ortho? It's called Ortho 4XP. If you type in Google Ortho 4XP, that'll explain everything you need to do. Essentially, it allows you in X-Plane to put photorealistic scenery in the sim and a custom mesh, so it all looks like you're flying over the equivalent part in real life. So if I look outside, this is all, and you can see here, look, there's some clouds where the photo scenery was there, but it looks spectacular. It just makes it look very realistic, and the files are huge. I mean, I have all of Europe at a certain zoom level, it's called, which is a certain resolution, and it takes up terabytes of my second hard drive. But, yeah, YouTube will give you a good idea what you need to do. David overhead, Frodo, contact Mordor Tower 1213. I'm right in thinking, someone told me years ago that there are waypoints around here which are Lord of the Rings themed. Cameron, she's also 4XP3, it is.
Alpaca 595, all Pacific Control.
Patrick James, it's 9 PM in New Zealand. Don't land. In Queenstown, it's dark. Yeah, we're running the sim 12 hours behind live time to ensure it's daylight. But yeah, Queenstown would not be a fun approach at night time, that's for sure, or in full IMC. One big flappy, where are we flying VFR? Nope, we're flying IFR flight plan. Pop Alias, watch for the tower with a big burning eye on it. Have you not seen my Instagram story? I put Sauron in there. That was my theme to that was my link to Lord of the Rings. I'm so gonna watch those the 3 movies again. Cray, I use Active Sky. Yes, I am. I use the weather injection engine. It's far better than the default weather engine. Mike K, welcome to our part of the world. Good luck on landing in Queenstown. Thank you very much, sir. I'm not sure what runway is going to be in use in Queenstown after Christchurch, because there's no METAR available. Looking at the weather in Christchurch now, it's light and variable winds. So, and I'm led to believe, I think the preferred landing runway is 05. So I don't know if we'll get ATC. The arrival comes in from the same point anyway. So what I'm going to do is at the planning stage, plan for runway 23, because that's the shorter distance, because we're coming in from the northeast. And then if they change it, it gives us more time to at least plan for it. Kurashad, you convert QFE to QNH when ATC gives you one. Well, conversion, I mean, if around every 1 millibar is around 30 feet. But if you're using QFE or QNH, you don't need to make any conversion, really. QFE is obviously going to reference the altimeter to the aerodrome, so it says 0 feet, but in commercial aviation, we don't use QFE. I've never said QFE. Runway 23 is the way to go. Yeah, we'll plan on 23, because that's the shortest distance, and then we'll confirm with ATC, and we'll get closer. You'll struggle on 2-3. I practiced both the approaches yesterday and it seems okay, and we can use the RNAV authorization required approach, which essentially is coded all the way to the threshold, which my operator doesn't have the approval to fly that. An authorization required approach, you need to have a certain level of alerting in your aircraft systems, a certain level of accuracy, and I think you need to contact the airport or airport to get authorization to fly and stuff like that. But it certainly allows for more flexible approaches to be built.
License 420, continue climb, flight level 410.
Continue climb flight level 410, Santos 420.
Now we fly over huge mountains soon. Mara and I are very fortunate to have gone to New Zealand. What was it, 2017? 2017 we went here for 10 days. And we had like a tour thing, so we had a car rented, and then the hotels were booked at each place. We started at Auckland, we went to Rotorua, we spent the first day in Rotorua, then we went to Lake Taupo, went round Mount, how do you pronounce that again? We were going to go here, but we didn't have enough time on the way, but had a fantastic time. It was a beautiful, beautiful country. We went, was it February? Was it November? It was November, yeah, so it was the end of winter coming into spring there. It was quite nice weather, but it rained a few days as well, didn't it? But it was just like, it was like, it reminded me of home in many ways. It was like the UK, which is quite cool. Oh yeah, where was that? In Lake Taupo. We went to one of those, Marian's got a fear, I only learnt on the holiday, of of chairlifts. So we went on a chairlift. We went down one of these toboggan runs, like on a concrete toboggan run with like a sled with wheels, which is great fun. But then you realised you did, yeah. But then you realised you had to get a chairlift to get off the mountain, which you hated. I found it hilarious until when I realised she was actually really freaking it. Rotorua is how it's pronounced. Yeah, apologies for that. Tom had to look it up, but Atlanta has Lord of the Rings waypoints as well. Came in on the Gandalf 2 arrival the other day. Not Mount Doom. We were going to go to Mount Doom, but we ran out of time. That was a huge volcano. I think they represent that as Mount Doom.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very much, Lawrence Draper, for the £5 donation. Very kind of you. It says, morning, Captain. Is there ever an occasion where you'd be given a flight level that
Hi,
isn't...
boss. Hope you're continuing to do well. It's been a while since I caught a stream, but never that far away.
Oh, thank you. I think that came in the wrong order. And thank you very much, Lawrence Draper, as well. I'll start with you, Stuart. Thank you very much. Says, hi, boss. Hope you continue to do well. Been a while since I caught a stream, but never that far. Well, thank you very much, Stuart Walsh. Very kind of you, and I hope you're doing very well. And you're always more than welcome to always pop in for the streams. Thank you very much. And thank you as well, Lawrence Draper, for the £5 donation. She says, morning, Captain. Is there ever an occasion where you'd be given a flight level that isn't rounded to the nearest 1,000? Example, flight level 375. Lawrence, no. We're always... IFR flight plans in RVSM especially always to the nearest 1,000 feet. I've never had a clearance within 500 feet. I have no experience with it, but I think in certain cases with oceanic, if you oceanic clearances, you can break off the approach for whatever reason, you have to descend a few hundred feet, but I have no information about that because I'm not oceanic trained in North Atlantic tracks and stuff. But no, always to the nearest 1,000 feet. But thank you very much for the donation, very kind. Domino Messina, Alpaca 782 just reached top of descent. Cool. You got a question from Cablish. Marina, who are you in relation to Flight Deck to Sim?
His boss.
My boss. I hired her. Thank you very much, Pilot Pity. Morning. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing very well as well. Ollie Hutchinson. I did a flight deck familiarisation on a night arrival into Queenstown.
40, 30, 20.
What's that for me?
10.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7, Alpaca 71. Thank you.
Ollie, flew night arrival into Queenstown, 05 arrival. Could you see the snowy mountains either side lit by the let me start that again. I did a flight deck familiarisation on a night arrival into Queenstown, 05 arrival. Could see the snowy mountains either side lit by the last of the twilight. Unforgettable experience, fantastic one. It looks really nice. I'll try and see what we could do here with the approach, but I think with the Ortho 4XP it's no snow, but we'll do as many external out the window views as possible, but it certainly is really, really nice there. Thank you very much, Chris, for the £1.79 donation. Morning, can you explain how to decide what your minimums are for landing? Thanks. Well, that's very kind of you, Chris. Thanks for the donation. I will certainly do that for you. Let's grab the charts now for you. NZQN. Oh no, we're not going to Queenstown just yet. It's be a shame if we selected all the wrong charts. NZCH. So we have arrival. Let's just select the arrivals we're expecting first. So Peaks 8 Bravo, and then the approach. So let's select the expected approach chart for you, Chris, and show you here. So ILSDME 20. So minimums are based off a height above the ground or height off reference from sea level. Typically for a precision approach you have a decision altitude or height, and this is referenced from the altimeter at sea level. So this is the one we're going to set today for a straight-in approach for a Category C aircraft.
50, 40,
293 feet
30,
for all the approach
20,
lights in use.
10.
I'll get to you very shortly, thank you sir. 550 metres. So this is the one we set, which is the altitude, so reference on the altimeter. This is the radio altimeter, so height above the threshold of the runway, which is typically for a Cat 1 ILS minimum of 200 feet. Now for a non-precision approach, which a localizer approach is, we have an MDA, which is also again referenced off the altimeter. A decision altitude is a point at which we must initiate the go around. An MDA is a not descend below unless you're visual height above the ground or altitude. So if at MDA's at my operator we had a 40-foot correction because we cannot go below this height until we get it. I hope that makes it clear. And always feel free to add comments to videos afterwards if you want to ask a question. I do my best at the moment whilst I'm off to answer many queries there. First thing, I want to say thanks to AdJ20 for the £2.73 donation. He says, welcome to almost my neck of the woods. Dinner time here, so I'll catch the rest of the flight later. Well, thank you very much, AdJ20. Enjoy your dinner. I enjoyed my breakfast about an hour ago, but thanks for popping in, and hopefully see you shortly. Thank you very much as well, David Chivone, for the €2. Keep up the good work, Captain. All regards from Malta. Well, thank you very much, David. I hope you're doing well. We have Equidriploters from Malta as well. That's very kind. Thank you. Actually, 20 how the exchange rate is horrible. That's very kind, but it doesn't matter. You always take a cut. Right, there's 380 anyway. Pressurization's good. We've got 193 miles from top of descent, so 44. So just under 30 minutes, and around 15 minutes we'll start setting for the approach up to Christchurch. And I remember rightly, we're doing a raw data. Someone wanted a raw data ILS today, so we'll do that. And then obviously it'll be a non-precision approach into Queenstown. Camlish, where do you disconnect the autopilot? Decision height or 1,000 feet? Well, Camlish, a lot of people think that the minimums is linked to the autopilot disconnect point. It's not. You can disconnect the autopilot at a time that is sensible. So you know, if the weather's rubbish, your IMC, you don't want to be disconnecting the autopilot. You want to be utilising the automation. Secondly, the lowest you can go before disconnecting single channel is 158 feet. That's the minimum usage height for the autopilot in the 737. So yeah, it's typically around the minimum. So you could just do it at any point as you wish. There. Thank you very much to Chop Food for the 99. Is it cents? The New Zealand currency below $1? I don't know. Mary and I look at each other like, I can't remember. That's very, very kind. We'll call it $1 New Zealand dollar. Very, very kind of you. Hope you're doing well. And my goodness, thank you very much, Aviation Chris, as well, for the 33. I think it's Australian dollars. Very
30,
kind of you.
20,
Hope you're doing well. We're
10.
sure to be visiting Australia at some point as well. But thank you very, very much. That's kind of you, sir. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing very well. It's dollars and cents. Thanks, AD. I think we still, you know, we went there on holiday and we had some of the old New Zealand currency locked away. We had a few cents left, which I kept. Dave Hagen, I read that Transavia disconnects the autopilot around 300 feet or so above the minimums. Yeah, I mean, typically on an approach, I'd say that's around the point where I typically disconnect, around 400 or 500 feet. So yeah, minimums, typically doing a Cat 1 ILS, so minimums at 200. I'd say around 400 or 500 feet is where I usually disconnect on most approaches. If I want to hand fly, the weather's nice, I will disconnect sooner. If it's pants IMC down to minimum,
595 Auckland Control, you still with me?
I'm not disconnecting, so that's it. Links Venom 8, I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well as well. Burke, hello Captain. Yesterday I was doing an RNAV approach and the AMP exceeded RMP and I got the unavailable message in the FMC as you teach in your video. Is there a way to alert the system in ZIBO? So yeah, if your AMP exceeds the RMP, there's something going on. It's not your distance off the magenta line, that's cross-track error, but the aircraft's position isn't as accurate as it should be. You have no control over that, and if you're flying an RNAV approach and you get that message, you have to go missed, unless you're visual, and there is an option to continue visually. But yeah, if your AMP exceeds the RMP, you have to go around.
Auckland Control, good evening to you. Send you zone 563, one passing 2,400.
It's loud.
You've on 563 Auckland Control, Eastport Mode Charlie.
We are now 563.
50, 40.
Look, we're right over.
30,
Isn't this Mount Doom?
20, 10.
There it is. That is so cool. Oh no, I need to get off the Avatar map here. Let's have a look at.
50.
Oh my goodness,
40,
guys! Look
30,
at that. Looks so
20,
cool. I wish it wasn't so
10.
cloudy. Thank you very much, Chris Tuttle, for the $2 and Blue Screen Viking.
S-Duel is OUT weather IS fantastic and stream is on as soon as I woke up.
That was the worst timing for the radio
And no
change.
better way to start the weekend.
Thank you very much. Alpaca 4 November Zoo, just confirm the frequency.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu 123.7.
123.7 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Thanks to the ATC now. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you, big man.
Perfect, so 123.7. Well, firstly, thank you very much, Chris Tuttle, for the $2. What airport has the most delicious in-flight meals? Oh, Chris, I don't know, it's not usually very airport-specific, but I generally try and avoid them. I have my own packed lunch at work. Thank you very much, Blue Screen Viking. I'm sorry that I missed your Microsoft Anne message there. It was the same point at which the VATNZ controller wanted me to change frequency. He says, for the £5, very kind. School is out, weather is fantastic, and stream is on. As soon as I woke up, no better way to start the weekend. Well, thank you very much, Blue Screen Viking. I hope you enjoy your Friday off from education and you're learning perhaps something new. Thank you very much, sir. Cool, right, we'll contact Christchurch.
Alpaca 595, Christchurch, good evening. Cleared the Peaks 8 Bravo
Perfect,
arrival,
as expected.
runway 20.
Christchurch, good evening. Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Flight level 380 inbound to Rupnu.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, cleared the Peaks 8 Bravo arrival, runway 20.
Peaks 8 Bravo for runway 20. Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Perfect, as expected. Shamrock 118 is supposed to be doing school right now. I no comment. It's not for me to dictate you should be doing your schoolwork. I can only say you should be. Dear. Cool, so Peaks 8 Bravo, as expected. We've got the star level chart there, we've got the ILS. We'll select airports.
Alpaca 21 Tango.
So airport info, let's go for that one. And then parking.
Alpaca 595 Christchurch.
Airport parking stands. Perfect. So all the charts that we need are selected.
Yeah, Big 595, you
We're
got
approaching, when we get to around 100 miles, we'll start planning for the approach day.
50,
Thank you very much
30,
to Aviation Chris again. Wow, my goodness, thank you very much for the 40 Australian dollars. Very, very kind of you. Still no comment. You can always ask a question, but that's very kind of you, sir, wherever you are. And again, I reiterate, I hope you're doing well, and thank you so very much for another generous donation. I hope you're having a pleasant evening in Australia. I know Roger gave another donation for Aviation Chris, very kind of him. He's always very clearly pleased that we're streaming at a convenient time in Australia for him. What is he doing? What are you doing? So Jack is currently trying to jump onto Mariana. He does this thing where he digs into you if you're laying down. He wants to lay by you, and he digs really hard with his head. And now he's just done basically a 180 flip, like Tony Hawk's. Oh dear. Well, shame about the cloud, but what's the weather like in Christchurch? Cloudy, broken at 5,000. It was clear yesterday. So yeah, we're just about to leave the North Island. Tom Harrington, is there a way to fix an altitude disagree? I had it happen to me on descent into Kadal. I don't know where that is, but last night, well, our temperature was stuck at cruising altitude, but the FOs was working perfectly. Interesting, Tom. That sounds like some sort of bug of some sort, so I've never experienced that in the mod, unless it was some sort of randomly induced failure. But, I don't know how to clear that fault. One big flappy boy. I am in New Zealand. Cool. Listen to me on the warning. What did Nightbot? What did you say to upset Nightbot? In all on one word. That's why. Yeah. Don't say hi. If you want to say hi, Jack, space it for obvious reasons.
You're aware that your departure is mainly a prop departure?
New Zealand 218. Yeah, I did see that. That was
Wayne Van Vick, Captain, are you a sports fan, rugby or football? I'm not a big sports fan of football if I was to choose that two over rugby, but again, I don't really watch much league or championship games. I like the kind of big games and the Champions League finals and the World Cups and stuff.
I didn't file for a departure, I don't think. I just said recent transition.
Someone's having a good chit chat.
Oh, yeah. I have to come around there and drink your coffee. It's re-cleared the tax up 5 Quebec.
I've had to drink I've had to drink coffee with my clearance, so I made a right hash a bit earlier.
Can you just repeat that departure for us one more time? Thanks, New Zealand 218.
Tax up 5 Quebec and Russell transition.
Tax up 5
50,
Quebec, Russell
40,
transition.
30, 20.
Thank you very much, Christian. Sorry if I mispronounced your surname, sir. Sioku. Good morning, Captain. If you were to choose which Lord of the Rings character would you like to be, all the best to you and your boss. Thank you very much, Christian. All the best to you as well, Mariana. It would be Samwise Gamgee. That's who I like. If I'd want to be any character. Frodo, and I don't have hairy feet. And they all have hairy feet. Thank you very much. The Hobbits. Unbelievable. Whereas I had hairy feet. Thank you very much, Christian. You're going to make me want to watch all those films again very soon.
Can we just stay here at 3,000 tons off going back down
Minimums.
Thank you very much, Burke Aston, for the membership. Welcome aboard as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content, sir. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord, where you'll get to enjoy exclusive content, enjoy your custom emojis in chats, and your new rank. Thank you very much, Burke. And he's here. Thank you. Are you watching the F1 this weekend? Isn't it mid-July they're starting? I don't think there's any F1 here. Yeah, look, listen to it. They start mid-July. I don't think there's anything this weekend. I know they're doing 2 races in Spa, and they had 2 races in Silverstone.
Europa 1206, I'm glad to hear that, because I had to re-vector you.
Europa, he's a long way from home. To be fair, so are we.
1,000 feet, Canterbury area QNH 1031.
3rd of July is the first F1 race. Yeah, not far away then. Austria, sorry, Daniel. Not Spa.
descend 11,000 feet.
Wiramo de Bayo's just messaged me on VATNZ. He says, someone might be able to help me in chat here. He says, whenever you get handed off from a current controller, say, enjoy the donuts. It's an inside joke for Kiwis. Someone explained that one to me. I meant to be saying Kiora. I keep forgetting to say Kiora every time I check in.
So Bravo 7 Alpha to the Alpha 1 holding point runway 16 New Zealand 218.
I need his current controller center. Okay. James is known as the Donut King. Okay, I'll make a note. Okay. Jordan, I'll make a note. I'll try and remember.
TikTok 5555, clear direct wards. Alright.
I feel like everyone in New Zealand knows each other. Online, at least. It's a meme on VATNZ New Zealand. Okay. Aviation Chris, Captain, when you get a chance, can you please let us know when you set up your landing weight, please? Aviation Chris will do the setup and briefing here, and I do it the same way each time, loosely based on what we do at work. Everyone in New Zealand does know each other. Peter Jackson once said New Zealand is a big village, not a small country. Links Renovate, can you fly the A380 in real life? I'd like to think if I was to find myself in an A380 flight deck, I could get it on the ground. I don't think I'd really understand fully what it's doing, the systems and stuff.
If we could just continue on this current heading for the time being.
Right, well, there's 100 miles. Let's start now.
All stations, Christchurch control will be back in 2 minutes.
So I think that's the controller just going back for 2 minutes. It's fine. So let's now get everything set up for our approach. So we've already been told to expect the Peaks 8 Bravo. So let's grab a screen. I took a screenshot of all the charts from Navigraph on my work iPad. I dropped them across so I can at least see those. So let's go to descent 250, below 10,000. Execute forecast 310, 200, 10,000 feet. So transition altitude or levels around 15,000 here. We've got 229 at 30. 200 is 227 at 27. And 10,000
radar,
feet.
good evening,
16.
Kilo, we're just passing through 800 feet now, on runway heading.
Executes QNH in Christchurch is a 1031.
Station calling Auckland, say again, call sign and transmission.
Roger, we are at Alpaca 57 kilos, just passing through 1,500 feet now. I'm on runway heading, so heading 051 degrees.
Is he just taken off from 1031? Cool.
Alpaca 57 kilos.
Temperature in Christchurch 7 degrees, 15 here. I don't usually want the ISD, it's not modeled in the mod. Fixed rings runway 20. 10.
Direct,
And 4. 3 times height at 38,000 feet, so we're /114.
5555 direct
cool.
forward, please.
And TikTok 5555.
Someone's got a call sign called TikTok. Oh no. So,
Alpaca 21 Tango, contact Christchurch approach 126.1.
Christchurch approach, that's good for us.
Over to 126.
Cool.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Is that better?
What's going on? Oh dear.
Oh, come on.
MSA to the north 7,100, so a little bit of high terrain. Going to be peaks at or above 11,000. That checks in the FMC. To Blunt, 7,000 feet above. They're going to make a left turn 124. Checks to Charlie Hotel 404 out above 6,000. Checks. Get to a DC maximum 210 knots. So I'm just going to put DC is at 14 miles. So I'm just going to put 200 knots below, which it should be already. Yeah, I'm just going to put that as a hard point there. Then down we go. We're just going to change Dipsu to 2,000 feet or above to maintain a continuous descent. There's no requirement to be level at 2,000 at Dipsu. So vectors or the transition. There is a DME arc, but we're routing direct to ADC off the RNAV waypoint. So intercept the ILS. Glide slope captures at 5.9 miles, which is the Foxtrot India 20 point down to the runway threshold. Pappies we have to go around or push toga, called go around flat 15. Set go around thrust, positive to climb gear up 400 feet. We'll select LNAV, climb on 196 to the Christchurch VOR. And outbound 181 to TOSIG mandatory 4,000. So that's all briefed. Let's now set everything up. So frequency 103, active. 196 for the courses.
Contact me 129.4.
129.4, Packer 71.
Yeah, and you're over 1206.
96. Because you set minimums to come up as well. So as we were discussing about the minimums earlier. Straighted approach. We've got full approach lights available for all aircraft categories. So 293. Perfect, so the minimums are set as well. So, that's all covered on that chart. Nice simple ILS. Oh yeah, 15.3 for Christchurch. We'll put on standby.
Yeah, if you can contact me on 129.4, please. Frequency you're on is going to run out very shortly.
Cool. Landing performance then. There's a lot of blurb here, so it's about departing aircraft, arriving aircraft, expecting particular aprons. There's a grass strip. Don't land on that, basically, if you're in a 7-3. So landing runway 20, 3,288 metres, nice long runway. We're going to aim for Alpha 5 here and park in front of a terminal. In fact, as a stand, I'm aiming for my lucky number, 32. If we can get that stand, that would be really, really cool. I always go for the stand 32s. But Alpha 5 left here. I reckon flat 30 or the rate 3 should do us quite nicely without going into the full performance. So we're going to burn. This is the question the chap was asking earlier. 900 kilos to burn. We're only 3 tons. Landing weight is going to be 54.8.
355, climb flight level 340.
Flap 30, order brake 3. So we'll use second detent reverse because we are doing a quick turnaround for brake cooling. And that's it. Briefing complete. Any questions, please let me know in chat if there's anything you're unsure about. Nice simple approach. And we will fly raw data ILS. Once we're on the intercept, we'll disconnect everything, including flight directors. Go from there. Louis Hollis, is it coincidence that ATC on VATNZ say tree instead of 3 in the UK anyway? Yeah, I mean, correct ICAO terminology is tree, but I always say 3. You should say tree though, to be proper and correct.
Christchurch control is on 563 on 123.9.
Bank angle, yeah, I was just testing people, Matt. You're the first person to realise.
Sorry guys, it was 2 at one time.
Wayne Van Wyck, what is second detent reverse? So you have 3 reverse thrust positions. You have idle detent, which is just lifted up. Second detent, which is the standard reverse. Well, first detent, which is the standard reverse. Second detent's like max reversed. Oh no, sorry, second detent's not one, then max reverse is all the way back. Hard to explain in a desktop simulator because the reverses aren't modelled in either the PMDG or this exactly how it works, but essentially
can you confirm the winds are 290 degrees?
There's an interlock, you lift it up and it won't let you lift it further until the reverses are fully unlocked. Have a look at my Instagram. There was a photo I posted quite early on.
Any chance you're able to coordinate with approach to get us runway 29?
It was quite earlier on in my Instagram channel. I posted a picture in the level D sim of all the different thrust reverse detent positions with the thrust on the M1, so you can have a look at that. I'll explain it to you.
Just wondering when we can get back down to Christchurch, please. We're still on runway headed.
Can't see any of that beautiful ortho I downloaded, unfortunately. It's all obscured in cloud.
7 kilo. Sorry, I wasn't aware that you were on.
comes the South Island. We'll be descending hopefully below the cloud over this very nice scenery. So we're going to do a few more streams, probably not right after this one, but we'll definitely go to Wellington, probably fly a light aircraft around, explore a bit of the island and stuff, because I think it's pretty spectacular as well.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't aware. Alpaca 57 kilo, fly direct peaks, track direct peaks rather.
No worries, we'll find a way to...
Kakastroka just flying close to me, all the best from Wellington. Well, thank you very much, good evening to you, enjoy your weekend. Domino, Alpaca 782 made it to Christchurch, got a butter. You can say that as much as you like, Domino. We've no proof. Milford Sound Airport and General Aviation's amazing. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll probably make a community post in YouTube asking where you'd like me to go. This route was kind of directed or suggested. I proposed and they said that would be a really nice route to do. I still haven't decided what to do for the Sunday Fun Day stream. You know, Sundays at the moment are a little bit more light-hearted, a little bit more fun. We do the quiz, we do the giveaway, we do the butter or go round. What? We'll see, we'll see. I was thinking of probably jumping in the Tupolev soon as well. That's getting some rust. Thanks, Rosa Gaming. Let's get to 300 likes. No like target for today, but smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the content. If you're perhaps new here, don't forget to subscribe as well to keep up to date with the latest content. We're so close now, I think, to 45,000 subscribers. It'd be great to get that for the weekends out. Freckles Aviation, I might try the 732 for the second leg. You and the 732, you love it. Are you restarting the sim between sectors? No, I'm not, because the ZIBO mod's working really well between sectors, so I'm not going to reboot X-Plane 11. But I will take a kind of a 5-10 minute break.
Stream, you didn't hear you.
Oh, did someone say something to me? Did I miss an ATC call? Someone says on the stream.
Christchurch, very good evening. Unit 132, climbing flight level 250. Station calling.
Radio call was to me, perfect.
Last transmission. Christchurch, Qantas 132.
Thanks for subscribing, Ryan Watkins. Welcome on board. So just waiting for him to read that back, otherwise I'll call him. Alpaca 4 November Zulu, just confirm the frequency.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, contact me 129.4.
129.4, Alpaca 4 November Zulu, cheers. Thanks for that, whoever that was on VATNZ nudging me, but it is hard to stream and listen to RT, especially when there's a lot of alpaca call signs. Is this Christchurch? Oh no, I forgot the donuts! Oh no, sorry to whoever that was. Oh, I'm sorry.
Course 132, climb flight level 360. Climb flight level 360, climb 132.
Christchurch, good evening, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Maintaining flight level 380, inbound peaks to the Peaks 8 Bravo.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, break, Alpaca 595, contact Christchurch.
Perfect, that's the perfect example of break, Will, if you're still here. So he's acknowledged I'm here, which is great, so I know he heard me, and then he's passed on the next frequency. Oscar Ted, no, I'm late, he says. I'm sorry, Captain. I'll let you off this time. Ah, you're still on the same frequency, extended coverage, so you have to switch through ILS frequency. Okay, so it's still the same guy, so I still have the same opportunity to say enjoy the donuts. Okay. Yeah, that often happens when in Europe as well, when it gets close to night time, when it gets less busy. They'll open up the frequency, so one controller will cover a larger area. That's quite common. Approaching top descent. Perfect. Adam, so break just means don't talk but politely.
New Zealand 56.
Right, no, Adam, it's just a break in the communication. So that guy acknowledged I'm here, Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Roger, break, and then transmit to someone else to do whatever that command was. It just reduces the amount of RT congestion. Yeah, exactly, as AD said, thanks, AD. Perfect. Right, so, approaching top of descent, 12 miles.
Rapid 1206, contact Christchurch, approach 126 days 1, leaving.
Perfect. Shark YouTube, I'm using 563 around 23 minutes behind you. Cool. Matt Surly, don't get into an argument between a Kiwi and an Aussie about who invented the pavlova. Okay. Dougal, are you on 42.9 or pre-release on 42.9? The same one that's public. Right, request to send. Alpaca 4 November Zulu, request to send.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, I'd already given you 1000.
Ah, Roger to send when ready 1000 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. I missed that one as well.
Naughty, naughty.
Oops.
It's alright, nobody listens to me normally, it's fine.
Right, that's set. Right, so VNAV will automatically deal with that, and it is an altitude because we're at transition level here. Where is it on the JEPs? 13,000, so we can set the QNH as well.
And class 149,
031 is going to be cross.
Bravo, arrival, runway 05 right.
I don't like doing it so high. I'll leave it as it is.
05 right,
Roscoe, this is what happens when you stream early, I know. Justin Gold's got it perfectly. New Zealand controls 10 out of 10, yeah, it's been fantastic. Right, there's our top of descent. I've got an emoji for this situation. I'm going to join the crowd. Yeah. Adam, what does the TAR on off on the forecast page mean? You can tell the FMC. You can tell the FMC when you're planning on using engine anti-ice, because engine anti-ice increases the idle thrust slightly, which would adjust your idle path, your VNAV idle path. I generally don't use it in the real aircraft because it's very hard to predict when you're going to turn off and on the anti-ice. So even if I expect to use it, I don't usually.
Confirm frequency for QA 761.
118 decimal 7.
You can see that beautiful scenery coming into view as well.
Tower 134 decimal 5.
Beg pardon, you're going into Vanilla Pie. Sorry, my mistake.
So cloudy, it's
go for
annoying.
that one.
Thanks for subscribing, Logan English. Welcome aboard, sir.
Sorry, mate. I wasn't fully with you.
I'm not either. Rosa Gamer, how long have you been flying the 737 in real life? It'll be 2011 I joined, so 9 years end of this year. Matt Surley, what ping zoom level? Level 16. Looks pretty good. Adam, thanks for answering my questions. I do my best. I do my absolute best to answer as many questions as I can.
Again, last transmission. Flight level 200 inbound sonar 0600.
Ah, look at that. It does, Rosa. I'm pretty pleased with how this ortho's loaded in. It was 50 tiles to cover all of New Zealand at zoom level 16. I don't know how many gigabytes it was.
678. Stand by, we'll be back with you in a minute with your star clearance.
But when I use zoom level 16, I have none of the performance issues which I have with zoom level 17 in Europe. Right now, my FPS is 52 FPS. If it's Europe, I get about 30, and that is, I think, it's just down to the ortho zoom level. A huge difference between 16 and 17 for me.
Christchurch Center, Jetstar 224, with
Links Venom 8, what's your dream company to fly with? I'm very happy where I work, if I'm honest. The roster's good. I like flying the 737, so it's all good for me.
224, you're shortly leaving my airspace, monitor Unicorn 122 days to late. What looks at?
So this seems to be working.
Amanda, what's the time of your region? I'm in India and it's 3:16 PM. A perfect time for anyone in India to watch a stream live, perhaps, and compared to usual. But right here in the UK, it's 10:46 in the morning. Tim, happy landings, Frodo. Samwise Gamgee, Tim. We've already set up Samwise. Matty Aviation, my partner will answer your question for you. There you go. Is my partner Nightbot? Cheeky. So, idle path, it's slowly creeping below our target speed. Again, an issue I sometimes get in the real aircraft. Just add a little bit of thrust to get your target speed where you need it to be, and then you can go back to idle. Another thing you can do, which you do in the real aircraft, which is quite common, is update the FMC again, which recalculates your descent path based on the current wind. I don't think that's modelled in ZIBO. Jordan, you absolutely greased it into Christchurch. Cool. Cameron Huxton, what made you come to New Zealand? A lot of requests from a lot of people. I try and cater for as many people as I can. People have been bugging me to go to New Zealand for quite a long time. I've always wanted to go here. Jordan, one of the members who just mentioned here, was pretty excited when we said we were coming here. We'll try and go to as many people as, and satisfy as many requests as we can. Warped Squishy, are you on furlough? Yes. Fiona, well-experienced captain for Japan Airlines on the Airbus 737 series. You've got it, Fiona. That's me. Yeah, we'll do some more streams in Asia over that as well, for sure.
Funny enough, I was actually just wondering if you'd forgotten about me.
Well, I couldn't even forget about you.
Oh, thank you, darling.
These guys crack me up. Brett Bankhagel, you got it.
So I do believe that clears you the Biggs 8 Bravo arrival, runway 20.
I'll set a QNH now, so I'll set it to an altitude.
Ready, Biggs 8 Bravo, runway 20, on 560.
A6 ECD, can you fly to Dubai next? We have got the Dubai scenery, we have been before, but we'll no doubt visit again. Will, can you fly to Shanghai at some point? Yeah, we've still got to visit China. I think the Kai Tak approach has been requested a few times as well. Adam, have you ever flown over flight level 410? Not in control. This is the maximum certified aircraft of altitude for this aircraft, so I've only been up to 41,000 feet. That was me calling you darling, don't forget the donuts. I'm trying to remember, Shark. I'll try and remember. So you can see just by adding that thrust, we got back to our target speed, closed it again, and it's holding it quite nicely. As I've mentioned many times before, the idle descent path for this with idle thrust is very realistic, very well modelled. We depicted on this chart. No, not all the charts. We come up as a little aeroplane. But Peaks is the next inbound point. Another 4 or 5 minutes to go. Lorenzo, Milan, Bergamo, please. I kind of guess you're from there. We did a stream from Bergamo quite recently, but we're yet to fly into Bergamo. I think a cargo run in the 7.2 will be pretty cool because Bergamo's primarily a cargo airport for DHL. Mariana says, blasphemy, only 328 likes. Please support us by hitting the like button. Thanks, Mariana. Camille, you've been flying the Kalimata recently. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, the Concorde is stream will come, guys. Probably at 50k. I might do it at 45. I haven't decided yet, but we'll definitely do it. It'll be a landmark mega stream. Don't worry. We've got something in the works. Kevin, any word from your employers yet? Nope. They're still in the consultation period with the union. That's it. Noel, hey Captain, when did you get your ATPL at Oxford Aviation Academy back in 2009, 2010?
360 at 340.
1670. Cleared the peaks 8 Bravo.
Thanks, Kevin.
Runway 20.
Let's put the seatbelt sign on.
Can you just repeat again for Qantas 670?
Qantas 670, cleared the peaks 8 Bravo, arrival runway 20.
Epic Play's got a favourite general aviation aircraft. Cessna, if I had to choose over Micro Cessna.
I had a few
182,
issues,
72.
so I just managed to fix things and just jumped online mid-flight.
So in New Zealand, is it the arrival like the US? I can carry on descending because he did say to 1000, or do I have to get like in Europe further descent clearances?
Indeed, thanks, mate.
Release the hounds.
Adam, 2010, you're young. Yeah, I am. I'm in my very, very young early 30s.
And Alpaca 4 November Zulu, can you and your band of merry stream followers contact Christchurch approach 126.1, please?
Thanks a lot, 126.1, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. And I was told to mention that you must enjoy your donuts.
Whoever told you that? The fleas of 1,000 camels will infest thy armpits.
I'm not gonna confess. But thanks a lot for the ATC, buddy. See you soon.
When I move, I'm gonna chase you for that one.
Hey, well, might have been me, might not have been.
I know it was you.
Amazing. What banter. What banter. Right, 26-1, right, well the seatbelt sign on, perfect. Christchurch approach, very good day. Alpaca 4 November Zulu, descending to 11,000 feet, 1028, inbound peaks for the peaks 8 Bravo.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Christchurch approach, hello. Descend via the star profile 2000, QNH 1032.
So now to 2,000 feet via the peaks 8 Bravo, QNH 1028, Alpaca 4 November Zulu.
Next is 1032.
Sorry, 1032 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. So that's classic kind of massive error by
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, you can turn left track direct on DC radar frame.
Go to ODC Alpaca 4 November Zulu. So I did a classic mistake in aviation there, which is sort of like confirmation bias, because I got the meta on the QNH off something else, 1028. I had it in my head, even though he said 1032. I just read what I saw, which is another reason why there's two of us. You know, the other guy would have got the weather, confirmed it with the 80s and stuff. But that's a classic. Be careful with that sort of stuff there. Nice shortcut though, direct to ODC, down to 2000. VNAV's updated. It's put us pretty much on profile, which is good. And yeah, prior to intercept, we've got a why is the decel just there? That decel is so early. Oh, sorry, that's for the 250 below 100. No, ignore me. I'm losing the plot today. But yeah, on the intercept we'll disconnect and we'll intercept manually, do a raw data as upon request. I think it was. It's getting cloudier here. You got it, Finley. You got it, Adam. Hope you're doing well, Finley, as well. Marion says Finfits. We like Finn. Andrew McDonald, he says, I asked my wife if I could buy a plane. She says nah. Andrew, brilliant. Right, there's a decel for 250 below 10,000. We'll do the post-cruise checks now. Fuel 4 pumps, 3.5 on board. Lights, logo, can be off, APs on pressurization. 3.5 and set. Seatbelt sign is on recall. There we are. Post-cruise checks complete. He says no. Amazing. Kevin Stevenson, have you ever become aware of any YouTubers on your flight before? I haven't, no. I know certainly some of the ATC controllers, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there, but not any that have joined me on a flight. If they have, they hadn't told me. Engine anti-ice coming on. -1 into some cloud. So we're just going to add a bit of thrust again, look, because our target speed's dropping off a little bit here. Mattia Machete, very good, back just in time for landing, cool. And guys, if you just tuned in, thank you so much for coming in. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. To remind you, we're doing 2 sectors today. This is the first sector from Auckland to Christchurch. We're going to have a quick turnaround and then we're going to head off to Queenstown, a very short flight, around 40 minutes or so. I will take a quick 5-minute intermission after landing just to get things set up for the next approach, have a quick toilet break, and then we'll carry on with the second sector. Christchurch, if you don't know, a spectacular approach. We're going to use RNAV, nestled amongst mountains. Very, very challenging, but we'll see how we can get on. Do you need to restart X-Plane for the second leg? Captain Jack, the X-Plane is reasonably stable for second sectors. The ZIBO mod certainly is. The ZIBO mod is one of the beauties of this aircraft, guys. And I kind of went off from restarting X-Plane 11 again because the mod, you can do multiple sectors and you don't get any weird bugs or anything like that. It fully resets after you've landed, so it's ready for the next sector. I certainly remember flying other aircraft in other simulators and other aircraft, even in X-Plane 11, where if you don't reboot it after landing for the second sector, you can have some sort of weird issues and stuff. But the mod, it just cracks on, carries on perfectly. I tested this sector yesterday without resetting it. I messed around in it as well. I changed the time, changed the weather, multiple replays. I really stress test it. Worked perfectly. So I'll just keep the sim running. I'll let you, whilst I'm having a break, enjoy the taxiing on stand, and then we'll reboot it. If someone's on our stand, which is completely normal, we'll try a different stand. I'll just put you back to the free. Be right back screen. Swati, Friday fun stream. No, Sunday is the fun stream. The Sunday is the quiz, the giveaways, and the on the approach is a butter or go around option as well. Adam, I'm gonna ask my grandma to sub so that you can get to 50k faster. Thank you very much, Adam. Get your grandmothers and your grandmother's friends to sub too. Amazing. Thank you very much, Ian Perez, for the 5 years. He says, I had to run out for a meeting, just back in time for the famous butter. It says, cheers, Cap. Thank you very much, guys. So again, reminding you, the sterile cockpit, I've linked it to my landing gear button. So when the gear goes down, the sterile cockpit enacts, so I don't miss any of the important taxi instructions.
50,
and on the ground,
40,
when I put the gear up,
30,
the sterile cockpit.
20, 10.
Thank you very much, Ian. Herman, is the Concourse stream at 50k? Yes, that's what we're planning to do. So there's a decel point. What's the tower frequency? Because I want to get that tuned now before I'm hand flying raw data. Christchurch ground 1219. So we're going to have to tune that at some point, because we did say that we were going to disconnect. Alright, do you want me to disconnect? Whoever says it first, I'll do it, but this is going to be...
4 November
oh, this is good.
Cleared ILSD in the approach runway 20 when established contact tower 118.4. Have a nice landing.
Cleared ILS 20, once established tower 118.4, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Thank you very much now, bye-bye. Perfect, so 1184, right, I'll leave that. We've got tower on standby, so here we go. I'm going to completely disconnect everything, including flight directors. Disconnecting. Flight directors coming off. This is not going to be easy. So, I'm going to select flap 1 now. Keep it descending nice and gently. I've got the glide slope in view, which is great. It's going to lower my workload. So, you can see I'm climbing. I haven't put any input on the controls. That's completely normal. The aircraft's ballooning with flaps there. I'm going to make a slight right turn look, because I've got to keep on that routing to DC. Flap 5. There's going to be another balloon, so keep it descending as well. We'll bug the flap 5 speeds. I'm just going to put the attitude on the horizon now to keep it on the glide slope. And just keeping a good look on the ND. There's not much wind here. We'll put tower active 1184, yes, I hope it was. So around 1,000 feet per minute is going to be okay here. Attitude on the horizon for flap 5. Keep that speed slowly coming back. So again, just checking my track. There we are. We'll set runway heading now, which is 196. Oops. Keep trimming, coming back to the flap 5 speed. of thrust. And put the altitude just around 1 to 2 degrees or so. Perfect, that's quite nice there. So, I'm going to start making a gentle turn onto localizer imminently. We'll start our gentle turn now. That localizer's going to come in live any second. Just going to pitch up slightly 1 dot low. Probably a little bit early on that turn.
Have a Delta Romeo.
So there's localizer alive.
Christchurch Tower, Papa number Romeo, ready issue.
Have a Delta Romeo, ready below 5.
Perfect, so glide slope alive, glide slope capture, localizer wide, localizer capture, so we just need to try, just let the missed approach altitude, 4,000 feet. There's one aircraft in the circuit here in Christchurch, lovely. Coming there once it's slide. The final approach track is 196, and now on the localizer I can set that target track on the ND to 196, so we'll keep that view there. That's much better. So, I want to be sticking that attitude roughly on the horizon. Again, this is why I love the ZIBO mod. Yes, we know the flat model's a bit broken here, but that's why I've set myself at a weight which makes the pitch power a lot more realistic. So typically on an ILS like this, you can go idle thrust and it'll hold the speed nicely, but you're having to add a little bit of thrust at the moment. So there's glide slope and localizer captured. Final approach track's 196. I've got 197 there, so let's put that back to 196, 195. Of course, it's a little bit easier now because we're completely visual anyway. We'll contact Tower 2. Christchurch Tower, good day, Alpaca 4 November Zulu, established ILS 209 miles.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, Christchurch Tower, good day, surface winds calm, clear to land, runway 20.
Runway 20, clear to land, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. This is the beauty of raw data having a track-up display. It doesn't matter what the crosswind is, the track-up display is always going to be the same target track, which is the inbound course, which is 196. So it's just keeping that target. The key here is your T-scan. This is the most important thing at all times, your attitude. If you keep the altitude exactly where you want it to be, you won't stray too far off. And then when you look at something else, so for example the localizer saying I'm slightly right, so make my adjustment. I'll put my track to 195, which will bring me back in. It's only a degree off the final approach track. I then go back to attitude first. Then from attitude to speed, is my speed okay? Yes it is, back to attitude. Check my thrust, is my thrust okay? Yes it is, back to attitude. Always go back to attitude before looking at anything else. But this is nice and stable, working out quite nicely. We've been cleared to land. We'll plan to configure around 5 miles, just because obviously it's there. And make sure you're in trim. At the moment I'm just very lightly guarding the controls. Turn the engine anti-ice off as well. On the speed brake. So tad low on the localizer, but on the glider, only just then. Butter will go around. I love that. Swatty, that's only on the Sunday stream. I'll land here regardless of the landing rate. Get down, flat 15. I'm just going to put VRF plus 5 now. Start switches, continuous, recall check, speed brakes armed, green light, landing gear. Down 3 green, order brake set 2-3, flat 30. Match speed, which I've already done. Target thrust setting then at around 60 tons. We're obviously a lot lighter today, but that's as I explained. The thrust drag model's a bit off, so I'm setting about 57%, which at this gross weight wouldn't work in the real aircraft. It would be too much, but it's working quite here. So flaps, we've got 30 green light, lights are on, checks complete, you are cleared to land. So that was I'm actually very pleased with how that raw data went, so I hope I've roughly explained it. It's something you can practice in the future for sure. Guys, thank you for the 580 of you watching. Get your landing rates in now for a good guess. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up and subscribe. Yada yada yada. Right, we've got a TA because there is traffic in the pattern, but we should go to TA only soon, and then we should shut it up.
1,000.
Checked. So he's probably instructed to extend downwind, but I wasn't listening. A little bit off the centre line here, just making that correction now. A bit less thrust here. Get back to our target speed. And we're going to make that exit on the left. At Alpha 5 ideally. Checked. So 3 reds, tad low. Again, that's just the traffic in the circuit.
500.
Shouldn't get any warnings from that. It would probably come up as a yellow circle, but you wouldn't get any oral warning from a TA at this point. Good.
300. Approaching minimum.
Checked. So just looking at the pappies now, I'm not looking at the glide slope, looking outside. I should really be telling you that, but that's my primary reference as you get closer to the runway, is outside. Continue.
100.
Checked.
50. 40. 30.
Check.
20.
Close.
10.
Just hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Lovely, a nice little butter for our first landing in New Zealand. Right, speed brakes up. Reverses. Superb. 100 knots.
80 knots.
And 6 knots side reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Christchurch. A nice little butter. And we'll take the exit here at Alpha 5.
Alpaca 4 New Zealand, correction, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Welcome to Christchurch, exit left when able, contact ground 121.90, good night.
We'll take left at Alpha 5 ground 1219 Alpaca 4 November Zulu, good day. I can see why I said New Zealand, because it is November Zulu, very aptly themed. Cool sign. Right, flaps up, speed brake stowed. Weather radar off. 1219er.
Just realised this runway's a bit short for us, sir. That's alright.
Perfect. I have no idea if I'm on the grass or I brought it right to a standstill here. Ah, perfect. Christchurch ground, good day. Alpaca 4 November Zulu, vacated runway 20 Alpha 5, love 3, stand 32 if available.
Alpaca 4 November Zulu, welcome to Christchurch. Unfortunately, stand 32 is not available as there is an aircraft pushing back, but you could take stand 18 or 17 via Alpha if you'd like.
As copied, just confirm that stand number again. Sorry, Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Couldn't quite hear it.
18 or 17 is available.
Perfect, thank you. We'll take stand 18 Alpaca 4 November Zulu. Or I'll take stand 17 just because I could see it. Perfect, so we'll take stand 17, no problems in traffic there. So we'll put the APU on the bus. Very short, APU start now, very short taxi for us. We'll start trimming in. Auto brake 2 off. I just went 17 because I just saw it painted on the ground right in front of me. Perfect. Let's go standby 4100 because I am going to be coming straight back into the aircraft as configured, so I want to make sure it is properly set. That's why I'm actually going to set the trim up. There is our stand. Perfect. Hopefully with the APU timed, it should be just right here. Put that to steady. Probe off as well. Oh, I don't like doing this whilst turning because I can't see. There we are. Right. Oh, so sensitive. Transavia's here as well. Perfect. I think I've done the taxi and flow all good. It says Boeing 738. Perfect. This scenery, I think, again, I can't remember the developer. It's in the video description below. It's completely free, and it's a nice little decent rendition of the airport. It just gives you all the correct stand number positions, a little bit of extra stuff, so it's pretty good to grab here. Cool.
Alpaca 2 Delta Mike, contact tower 18 decimal.
Come on. Perfect, and it says stop, and hopefully we've timed it. Oh, look at that, APU's available. Start switch should have been off as well. Perfect, 2 blues, 1 red. Engines are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's the school bell. Welcome to Christchurch. Here comes the air bridge. Our first sector in New Zealand is complete. Local time, no idea. I think you're 12 hours ahead of us, aren't you? So is it 12? No, it's 11:10 in the evening for you guys, but in the simulator for us, 11:10 in the morning as well. But yeah, great first flight. Very, very pleased with that. Nice raw data approaching to Christchurch. But The party's only just started, guys. We'll be doing a nice little replay so you can enjoy the approach and taxi in. I'll then get everything set up for our second sector to Queenstown. Flight time will be about 45 minutes. We'll hopefully enjoy a spectacular approach into there. It's 10 past 10. Got you guys. Right, so we'll take the opportunity to disconnect. Joseph says, don't steal my stand, lol. Well, I'll try and, hopefully just check before I log on that this stand is free. If not, I'll reload onto another stand as well, of course, if we're offline. That's what we can expect to do. But yeah, fantastic ATC for the first sector as well. Nice butter land and nice raw data, so that's it. What did you guys have to say about that? He said, nice flight, Captain. Good landing, lots of butter emojis, fantastic. Really, really happy to see that. I hope you enjoyed the raw data as well. We'll try and do a few more of those if it's requested to. But otherwise, I just see lots of requests for the funky music. Thanks a lot for subscribing as well. Gregory Kim, welcome on board. Right, so where are you? There she is. Let's get it all started. There you go. So let's jump on into the flight deck. Let's start her off from there. Fast forward it in a little bit.
500, 400, 300.
There we go. Let's play from that point. Franklin's Aviation jumping in the 200. Just leave stand 17 free. That's my only request, if it's all possible. There we are. Very pleased with that landing. So I did kind of like a double check, bit naughty, but we only go for butter at Alpaca Airways. Very pleasing. See if I've timed this well. No, a little bit early, never mind. Gotta love the mod. Well, I might have timed it quite well, not bad. Close. Perfect. Right, let's do one more for the tower. JJ says using this butter for my sandwich. Brilliant. Yeah, nice landing, nice conditions though. No excuses as per usual. Boom. Love this base here from Icefire. What version is this of the mod? It's the 342.9, the latest public version. Cool. Oh nice, little general aviation area here. Awesome stuff. Well, guys, what I'll do, I'll pop you back into the cabin so you can enjoy the replay and taxi onto stand. In the background, I'll get everything ready for the second sector. I'll also take a quick break as well, and then we'll get everything ready for the next flight to Queenstown, which should be a much shorter sector than we've just done, but a spectacular approach to fly. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, especially for my friends in Australia, New Zealand, East Asia, who perhaps couldn't watch live. But yeah, guys, I'll be back with you in around 5 to 10 minutes. Enjoy the approach, and I'll see you very shortly. Bye for now.
500.
Well, guys, thank you very much for my intermission. How professional am I becoming as a live streamer with these transitions and the sound not cutting off? I feel like I'm becoming a full-time streamer here. Did you see that? Oh, amazing. Oh, right. Anyway, we're back here into Christchurch. We've logged back onto VATNZ. I've updated Nightbot to give us our new routing. I think I've remembered everything. No doubt I've forgotten something probably very, very important. But here we are in Christchurch. Weather hasn't changed, obviously. But here we are, zooming in back into the airport. Oh, no, he's evolving, says Freckles. Unbelievable. But yes, we'll zoom on here. We need you our real streamer emoji. Yeah, we do. Yeah, for every time I make an issue, I make lots of mistakes while streaming. We can have something for that. But yeah, we're still on stand 17. All the passengers are off from the first sector. We're now doing the special flight on the second sector. We still have the APU connected as well. That's the beauty of the mod. You can just reset it back as you are. But great for continuity, just to carry on exactly where we left off. Same stand, same configuration. It's really, really good to see. But yes, next flight to Queenstown. This is going to be a good one. Latest weather condition. There's no active METAR here, so we'll have to see what ATC give us. If there is ATC there, that would be really, really cool. But I'm going to plan on a straight in for runway 23. You can easily set up for the other approach if it's 05 there, but it's a very nice approach indeed to witness. At least the weather here is good. We should be completely fine getting in there today. Cool. So all the sounds are fine. Let's firstly start the next flight leg. So we've got the passengers coming in for the next flight. So the pilot monitoring would be doing the walk around. Why is it so quiet in here? I know why. Yes, there we are. I thought all the boarding sounds had stopped. It was that's because the door was still closed. But yes, pilot monitoring will be now doing the walk around to make sure that we're getting everything outside ready for the flight, checking the aircraft's got no damage. He'll also talk to the fueler to get the fuel. We're not going to worry about the doors and airstairs. We do have the bridge connected. And we'll get the fuel ordered. So let's have a look at our flight plan. So we've still got the old flight plan there. There's flight plan number 2. Second sector, I'm going to take an extra 30 minutes of fuel. Again, there's quite a few aircraft, I think, joining us on this flight. There might be some others too, but and it's not the sort of airport where I want to be messing around because the approach is quite a tricky one, and I want to make sure if I have to go around, the missed approach is quite long, that we've got enough fuel for a second approach. And our alternate is actually to come back here to Christchurch. So 4.9 tons, let's call that 5, I'd call. Let's put an extra 1.2 tons on that, which is 30 minutes, 6.2 on the fuel, which should be more than sufficient for this sector. ZIBO, thank you. I forgot it does that. Very, very good again. It happened last time we did a turnaround like that. Right, 6.2. Fuel. Let's go to... where is it? The weight, fuel weight and balance. Cool for the fuel truck. We'll leave the payload as it was, 100 passengers or so. That's perfect. So the plane's about 60% full for this flight. Perfect. So, going from that setup there, we'll grab the ATIS, if there is one here. So Christchurch ATIS on 127.2. There you go. Perfect. Just make sure the volume's turned up here. It is, but I cannot hear any ATIS. I know sometimes it doesn't quite work as expected. I can grab it on text anyway. So Christchurch information mic issued at 10 Zulu. Why is it so quiet in the back here? You know how that usually has all the banging around from boarding? I can't hear anything in the cabin. It's gone very, very quiet. But VATNZ is VATNZ is useless. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes you get the text we did earlier. I know certain airports you can only get text though, not voice. But it says runway 20, runway condition dry for delivery contact 1219er. Let's go from there. 1219er. That's on standby because we've got the ATIS active because I need to get the rest of that written down. Winds calm, visibility 10k, clouds scattered 4,000, broken at 5,000, temperature 7, QNH is 1032, and that is information mic for us. So that's tuned. We'll go active now on 1219er. Perfect. So we'll now load the FMC. So yeah, let's grab the clearance first, just to make sure VATNZ is all working correctly and go from there. Christchurch clearance, good day, Alpaca 8 November Zulu, we're on stand 17, information Mike, QNH 1032, departure clearance to Queenstown, please. I can't hear anything. Now what's happened here? He's probably talking to me like I can't hear anything. Oh, he's just logged off. There's only tower. So literally, I've just gotten rid of ATIS and clearance. It's now tower 1184. That might be why we can't hear anything. Because it was all there literally 2 minutes ago, and now it's just tower. So tower will be dealing with everything for us. Christchurch Tower, good day, Alpaca 8 November, Zulu stand 17, information Mike, QNH 1032, departure clearance to Queenstown, please.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, Christchurch Tower, hello. Cleared Queenstown 3, flight level 200. At set 1 Quebec departure, Goopert transition, squawk 5076.
So I got half of it. Alpaca 8 November Zulu, cleared Christchurch 3, flight level 200, squawk 5076. Could you just confirm the SID again, please?
At set 1 Quebec, Alpha Tango Sierra Alpha Tango.
The at ZAT1 Quebec, then the transition, Alpaca 8 November Zulu.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, read back correct, call me ready, push and start.
Perfect, so we got that. We'll go Alpaca 8 November Zulu. So we got that. We're going to set this to 1,120. So again, they have these standard flight plan routes like they had in Auckland, and I think the Christchurch, the Christchurch 3 is just a standard route, and we'll double check that shortly.
Star 484, Christchurch Tower, hello. Cleared Queenstown 3, flight 240. 1 Quebec departure.
So turned him right down, 1,120 for the MFRA. Cool, so fuel's coming on board Avitab Airport, so we've got the parking stands, we're on 17, we'll take this for taxi as well. It's going to be to taxi along via Alpha for runway 20. We'll get rid of the arrival and the star, because we don't need that. So let's go to the standard route clearances. So he said we can expect the Christchurch, or the Queenstown 3 I think it was. There we are, Queenstown 3. So this is a standard route clearance, and it's just basically the SID terminates and takes us onto the Yankee 266 airway, and then from Yankee 266 airway we're going all the way to the arrival into Queenstown. So that's what matches the flight plan. So you just need to make sure when they give you that standard route clearance you check your routing against this table, which I'm satisfied is correct. Our departure then is going to be the ATSAT1 Quebec, sorry, ATSAT1 Quebec, which is here. Perfect, so we can now carry on with the loading of the FMC. So, here we are, at ZAT1 Quebec. That's not what I want, sorry, it's the charts. Perfect. So, back to index ident. Always go index ident, start on this page, and then you can go through it to make sure you're happy with everything here. So, here's the ident page.
Can you confirm stand 16 as well?
We're in Christchurch, which is November Zulu, Charlie Hotel.
New Zealand 563.
And then we're going to Queenstown, which is November Zulu, Quebec, November.
Alright, taxi, stand 16.
Cool. We're now at Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Cool. Departure page. It's going to be runway 20. And we were told the ATSAT1 Quebec, and the transition we'd like is... If I put ATSAT1 Quebec here, stand by guys. Via... what was the... It's on here on the flight plan. Goopert, I think. I've got a different SID here, but we want Goopert, and that's the same termination point, I think, anyway. The Goopert transition. So from Goopert... it's just that Yankee 266 point, which we checked on the standard route, and that takes us straight to the arrival for LROV. So, route, Goopert, Yankee 266. There's LROV, so we'll put LROV in here. STV, and then arrivals we're going to select. Now, we're going to plan the straight in, because that's the shorter track miles. That means if it's the other runway, we've planned for we've had the time to switch to the other runway, so we're always going to go the shortest distance if you're unsure. So runway 23 is straight in for us. Now there's several approaches here. The RNAV Zulu is the one I'm interested in, the RNAV authorization. It's going to be the LRAV 4 Bravo for 23 via, what was it? I can't remember if it was at Kill or Ukped. Which one was it? At Kill, that was it. route, activate, and then execute it after pilot monitor is done. Well, there's a check, we do that together usually. Right, 0 fuel, 800 passengers, 51.8. The reserves is to come back here to Christchurch if you have to divert. And that gives us a reserves of 2.7 tonnes. Cost index is 30. Cruising at flight level 200 today. Elevation, anyone in Queenstown? I forgot to look that up, so hopefully by the time I've set this, you can tell me what the elevation is. It's 1,000 something, I know that. Who's going to be the first here? Probably, hopefully someone that's familiar with the airport. Top of climb wind is 283 at 57. Top of climb ISO -3. Temperature 7, full 22k again. Again, I'm just going off what I think will work. Takeoff flap 5, CG 19.0, V speeds offset 39, trim 6 units.
Did you understand that last transmission?
Perfect. Alright then, Jack. Is he trying to get... Baby, he wants to go on his bed.
So are we able to push into
Perfect. Ashley Lawson, 1711. 1171, sorry, 1171 for the altitude. So we'll put 1200 here. Cool. Right, so FMC's all loaded. We'll do our panel scan. Sounds are all working, it's just very quiet in the cabin. So that's all set. Transit setup. You know, the aircraft's pretty much configured for flight already. You're just checking everything here. We'll put the APU bleed on. That's made it a little bit more immersive with some background noise. On steady. Flight director's come on now as well.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Just going to connect first.
Ground to cockpit.
Just to get him on his way.
Tow is driving up.
Where's our SID? So the SID for us is initial climb on track 211 to ATSAT. So we'll put we'll leave the runway heading set for now. Get rid of that one as well. What's the runway QDM? 196. So we're going to make a slight right turn after departure to get to 211 to ATSAT, and then from ATSAT we're going to be going to Guput, which is a track of 217. Cat B aircraft, Cat C and D aircraft speed restriction minimum 150 knots, max 220 till 6,000 feet. Okay. So on the climb page we'll put 220/6,000. Now when you put this in, it should override that, but it should keep the 250 below 100 after that. So VNAV now, we can go VNAV and it will maintain 220 till 6,000, which is what we want. No mention of a stop altitude. I don't think on our departure clearance he gave us anything, so I'm just going to put flight level 200. And I forgot to set the squawk as well. Which, oh no, I did set the squawk 5076. Right, so I think we're all ready for departure. I hope you're all happy and you understand what's going on, where we are going. I think we're pretty much ready for our pushback. ADF, did you press start flight leg? I did. We'll do it again. Ah, I definitely did it. And now I can hear them bashing around in the background. We'll try. Right, thanks for the heads up though. So we just got to tell them which direction we need to go, otherwise we're all ready for push and start.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Perfect. That's our Alpaca 8 November Zulu Standard 17 request push and start.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, push and start approved. Time now 38.
Push start approved, Alpaca for November Zulu. So I'm not sure what's happened to my time in the sim because it was running pretty much live. Oh, it was the replays, guys. You know, when I was doing all the replays, that's going to affect the time because it's not live. But what I'll do, look, just to make sure it's 12 hours behind live time, is just jig this slightly. Ooh, 138. There we are, it's a little bit closer. Right, so we've been cleared, push and start. We weren't given a direction, so I think the best direction will be to face... We don't want to block everyone here. Tough. I'm going to probably just go straight on there to face that direction.
Ground to cockpit. Please
I mean,
show me
they
where
they,
you want to
they
go.
put you all the way onto the line, so I'll be as quick as I can.
So connected and bypass
Perfect.
pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake released. Ignition lights on, transponder to out off. Well,
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
oh, so sorry, I forgot to mute the microphone. I pressed the wrong button. Excuse me. I usually say bless you to Marianne in Chapman. I thought I scrambled to the mute button, but I didn't quite reach it. So sorry about that, guys. Oh dear. Right, starting engine number 2. Sorry, guys. Head 2. Oil pressure and 1. So we'll be as quick as we can.
2-1 Tango, you can taxi and hold short Alpha.
So that's because of us. We're pushing back, but we'll get everything we need to do there. Iman, you'll need to clean that microphone. I pulled my t-shirt up above it. Don't worry. I need to change that.
Alpaca 2-1 Tango, are you able to backtrack?
Right. Start a count mod to engine number 2. 2 stable. Starting now, engine number 1.
Alpaca 2-1 Tango, roger, backtrack runway 20 down to Alpha 3, report when you are.
Chef, wait, did you land yet? We just completed the first sector. We're now doing the second sector to Queenstown. About 25%.
Christchurch Tower, good evening. Alpaca 57 Kilo with you on a 8.5 mile final for runway 20.
Alpaca coming into land.
Alpaca 5.
Start count mod change number 1, 2, 4, 6, 3, 1 is stable.
Number 1 next week, late landing clearance.
So we'll just do that here.
We're continuing approach number 1 and we'll expect the late landing clearance.
Parking brake is set. Is this it, tow up Iver spin?
Disconnecting tow.
Advisor clear. Auto brake to RTA. Yeah, I was just testing you, Boris. Well done, Boris, for catching that. Thank you very much, T-Suit 2, for the 500 yen. Oh, very kind of you. Greetings from Japan. Always I enjoy your archives, and I find I could join you on live. And bless you. Thank you very much, T-Suit 2. Very kind of you, sir. We've got a sterile cop at the moment, so the alerts won't ping up until I put the gear up. But thank you very much for the contribution there. And I don't think we have too many viewers from Japan, but I hope you're doing well. And of course, we'll head to Japan very soon. We're going to do a few more flights around this neck of the woods, of course, but popping in between a few destinations. But thank you very much for the donation. Right, just to keep the show on the road, I wouldn't usually do this. I'm going to carry on with the flow because there is someone behind us. Odd VATNZ.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed.
Back,
and signal will be on the
left,
right. We'll
and right,
and
runners,
have a great flight.
full right, full left, centre, recall, and that's it. We then read the before taxi checklist, so he's on his way. We'll request taxi now. Alpaca 8 November Zulu, request taxi.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, taxi Alpha 3, holding point runway 20 via Alpha.
Taxi holding point Alpha 3 for runway 20 via Alpha. Alpaca 8 November Zulu, can we request Alpha 2?
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, taxi Alpha 2 via Alpha.
Alpha 2, thanks, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. So Alpha 3's intersection, I don't have any accurate performance data. We could happily do Alpha 3, but I don't have any accurate data, and I know 22k is going to work full length here. Right, oh sorry, config, there we are, no takeoff config warning. Nice straight line all the way to the full length now.
Pilot Star 44, stand 19, request push and start visual with the Alpaca crossing right to left behind.
Star operates for 11 time now.
There we are. Trying to hang around at Alpaca Airways. Already running ahead of schedule. I hope I'm on the taxi line still. Oops, a little bit fast. Maximum taxi speed 30 knots.
Alpaca 57 kilo.
There we go.
Surface wind 3003 knots. Runway 20 clear to land.
Roger, runway 20 clear to land. Alpaca 5 kilo.
LNAV, please. We'll engage LNAV lining up on the runway. So now do the before takeoff checklist config we checked.
Alpaca 137 calling up fire clearance.
Flaps 5-5 green light, stab trim set for departure. 5.75 units it was. Takeoff briefing. Pax order bleeds on, V speeds are set.
137, you are requesting clearance.
29:30:39.
Filed for Queenstown, you filed for an unknown airport.
Filed for an unknown airport, interesting. Departure is going to be an ATSAT 1 Quebec, really straight to ATSAT, slight right tail after departure, and then inbound to Coupet. No stop level, so we're going to go straight up to our cruise level, just 200 today. NADP 2.
New Zealand 651, we're 737, stand 16 Christchurch out of Queenstown.
New Zealand 651, clearance on request number 1.
Perfect.
Christchurch, corner 670, final 4, runway 20.
Corner 670, continue approach at number 1, expect late landing clearance.
Oh, you can get us away, I think.
Continue approach, corner 670.
And now.
Kilo vacated Alpha 5.
So I don't know if he's going to get him away. We'll probably just hold here.
Alpaca 57 kilo, welcome to Christchurch. Taxi standard choice via Alpha. You can take stand 18 to 17.
Roger, standard choice 18 to 17 via Alpha, Alpaca 5.
That's where we came from. That's Alpaca's gate, clearly. Cool. There's all point Alpha 2. So we'd obviously wait for the cabin to be secure. In fact, you can trigger that in the mod by doing that, or push a tent.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, airborne contact, Christchurch approach 126.1, runway 20 cleared, immediate takeoff.
Okay, the cabin is
At 126.1 after departure, clear to immediate takeoff, runway 20 Alpaca 8 November Zulu. So keep the ball rolling here because it's an immediate takeoff. There is a traffic on short final.
MLRT 96, 97, request taxi Alpha 11 to
Oops, I forgot to do that.
Hangar 1.
So that's why we have checklist, guys. So MCP, gonna have to keep it rolling so we don't cause any issues. MCP set, transponder TARA, strobe lights on. Landing lights are on, checks complete. Where is he? I'm gonna go for the outside view here. Oh, it's tight, it's tight. Keep it rolling. Right, so 40% straight away timer. Stabilise, set takeoff thrust.
Tower, you cleared Queenstown.
Don't usually do this view, but look. Alright, takeoff thrust set, indications normal. I better get back on the centre line.
80 knots.
Checked. Run away.
Rotate. Taxi Alpha 11 to Air New Zealand Hangar 1.
Gears going up.
Look
at that. Perfect. 400 feet LNAV. I didn't even get a chance to get any togas in chat, look. Yeah, we had to get away sharpish.
Just stuff for
1,000.
Bang up.
3 holding point runway 20 via Alpha. Alpha to Alpha 3 for 20, just off 44.
Laps 1.
Lottie 96, 97, radio check.
Flaps up.
New Zealand 641, you got the clearance.
New Zealand 651, I was trying to call you up before, sorry.
It's very busy now. Right, view
Oh,
nav.
apologies, go ahead with it.
So remember, 220 knots maximum until
651, cleared.
after ATSAT.
Queenstown 3, flight level 380.
Set standards.
1 Quebec departure, Quebec transition, call 50.
There's command. Command date, quick to do the after takeoff checklist and gear up and off. Brake to off. Start switches to off. taxi off, air conditioning, pressurisation 2.0. Rest is set. Recall checks complete. That was a very rushed departure because he was gave us that immediate one. I was going to have a little bit more of a chat about the 220 knot restriction, but you're happy, guys. As per the SID, maximum 220 until after 6,000 feet. So we'll just want to make sure that the mod should book up to 250 after 6,000. Christchurch, good day. It's the Alpaca 8 November Zulu. We're on the ATSAT departure, then to Guput, passing 5,700 for flight level 200.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, Christchurch approach, hello, identified, climb flight level 200.
Climb flight level 200, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. So the mod, I'm going to tell ZIBO at the moment, look, it still says 220 below 6,000, correct, but it's now gone straight to the target speed. What it should do is remember the restriction underneath that one. Remember it was 250 below 100. So once you've passed the first restriction, it should remember the previous one. It looks like at the moment it can only have one restriction at a time. Not a big issue because I could just put 250 below 10,000 in now, and it's updated it, so that's great. Cool. So that's it. We just need to do the. There we did that. Start switch. Blah blah blah. Press is 3.8 sets. Release the cabin crew. Oh, check's complete. Yeah, well, leave the engine anti-ice, it's not we're above it. Cool. Airborne. Not a short, not a long flight this one either, look. 180 miles to go, arriving at 22, and that's for the straight-in approach, so just over half an hour, 35-40 minutes, we'll be touching down if we expect a straight-in. Very light as well, not much fuel, not much passengers, so we'll quickly get up to flight level 200 as well. So, pre-cruise checks, we've got 103 for flight level 200, so fuel, we've got 4 pumps, lights coming off, logos off, APUs off, pressurisation 4.8 set, nice and smooth, so release the passengers. Oh, recall, checks complete. Jordan, I got to back taxi the Active to overtake you on departure with the aircraft on the 8-mile final. Was that you backtracking on the runway, cheeky? And they managed to squeeze me out as well between. Nicely done by the tower. What's he eating? What are we giving him? A dentist stick. There are other dental hygiene products available for your dog. Pedigree dentist stick. Just chewing behind me. I was like, what's he chewing on? It wasn't my leg. Yeah, I know. Cool. Have we got ATC in Queenstown? This could get very interesting because it's not sort of the airport where they've got the capacity for multiple arrivals.
Tango contact Christchurch Control 129
There is tower in Queenstown. This could be very fun. Glad I took that extra 30 minutes of fuel. Cool. Asad, are you going to do an RNAV arrival? Yes, we're going to do the RNAV authorization required approach. Well, imagine Alpaca Airways, we have special dispensation for that.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Thank you very much to Poms Alias 1. Oh, it's an automatic one. I'll listen in.
Thanks for the stream at this time of day, Captain. If different airlines have a different operating procedure for when to set STD, is there a danger of aircraft having different altimeter readings in the same airspace?
Well, thank you very much, Poms Elias 1. It's my welcome to flight this time of the day. I wasn't going to do my first ever flight in New Zealand without the ability for anyone around this neck of the woods to watch it live. It's a good point. But we only set standard once we've been cleared to that flight level, and if you're being cleared to a flight level between that, ATC will ensure there's the separation. Now, the threat being, let's imagine the transition altitude here is at 13,000 feet. Yes, we've been climbed up to flight level 200, so at my operator we immediately set standard. Now, if we were told, okay, Alpaca 8 November Zulu, stop climb altitude 9,000 feet, it's quite simple, we just set the altitude. Now, what you must remember is my operator is based on Europe, so the highest, there's no high transition altitude there, so typically with our climb performance, when you're cleared to a flight level, it's going to be very clearly, you're going to be very quickly above the transition altitude. There's no point delaying setting standard, so our SOP is at 3,000 feet above aerodrome level, climbing to a flight level immediately set standard. Now obviously in a place where the transition altitude is much higher, perhaps that SOP won't work well. So obviously in the US with a higher transition altitude, we might have a slightly different SOP because it wouldn't cater the traffic there. So we're obviously catering for our SOP for a European based operator. So that hopefully that answers your question. I'm just doing it out of habit because I don't want to start doing things that differ from my SOP because I don't want to get into a bad habit. So I very much follow as accurate as I can within the confines of a single pilot in a desktop simulator, the best I can do. But thanks for the donation, very kind of you. Buffeg, Queenstown Tower is online, perfect, very good. So there we are, flight level 200, very short sector. We're in our cruise level today. Our top of descent, look, only 107 miles away already, so give it another 2 or 3 minutes, we'll start setting up for the approach. Thanks for the comprehensive answer. You're welcome, Porbs, that is. I hope it sort of made sense for you. Why is it cloudy today? Oh, so annoying. It's so annoying as well, it's so cloudy. So arrival, runway news, guys. Does anyone know at all? I'm going to base it off 23 for now, but I'm not going to go into the briefing until I confirm the runway news. It isn't much to say because it is coded as an RNAV authorization, so we're just going to step through the points to make sure we're happy.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, it's been fun, but unfortunately we need to go over to Christchurch control now. 123, correct, 129
12903, thanks a lot for the ATC, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Have a good day, yes, sir. Perfect, 29.
2 kilo whiskey with me.
Perfect, thank you very much to
maximum
Buffex, just joined as a member.
max that you can do.
Glad you enjoy the content, and thank you very much for joining as a member. You'll be able to enjoy our members only Discord and enjoy your custom emojis and your new rank. Very kind of you, sir.
Okay, maintain Mark Decimal 80, stop climb, flight level 240.
So he's going to have to start working about separation, all this traffic going in.
I'm just trying to get you to swing ahead of
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much to Matt Shawley for the 8 Aussie dollars. That's very kind. It says next it's time for a flight for the mainland. Join us for the Melbourne to Sydney Milk Run. Thank you very much, Matt, for the donation. Yes, I've looked at that one. I was thinking of where to go for this stream today, New Zealand, and I saw there was a
change of frequency to 126.
some VATNZ events, but I'm busy tomorrow actually on Saturday, so I couldn't do the Sydney stream on Sunday because I'm busy Saturday night, Sunday morning. So we're going to have to do something else, but no doubt we'll join, we'll do some sectors in Australia soon. Thank you very much for the support. At Christchurch, saying a good day, Alpaca 8 November Zulu, maintaining flight level 200, inbound to Sunar.
And Alpaca 8 November Zulu, welcome back to the forum. Include the LRAV 4 Bravo arrival runway 0. Sorry, it should be the LRAV 2 Alpha arrival runway 05.
LRAV 2 Alpha for runway 05, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. I think that's the approach that everyone wants you to do anyway because of the scenery, so that's fine. It's a slightly longer flight for us. It was the same guy we were talking to earlier, which was really cool. So RNAV 23, we're now going to select the RNAV Zulu 05 for the LRAV 2 Alpha via Ibabu execute, and it should all be programmed. So now our new top of descent point, look at it's 120, so it's giving us around an extra 30 track miles. So that's something that's worthwhile remembering. If you're unsure of the runway and you select the one that's going to have the shorter track miles, so you can prepare for that. And then if you switch runways, you've got a little bit more time. If we say planned for 05 and then they switched to 23, we would have really shortened our track miles and we'd been like, oh, we're going to rush now there. Runway 23 is the most scenic in my opinion. Okay. I'm not too sure, but I had many people saying no, do 23. Someone said 05, but we've got ATC. Either way, we'll play the game. Cool. So it's a good job we were advised that. It was really good information. LRAV 2 Alpha approach is going to be RNAV Zulu 05. There are some VOR approaches. What are you grumbling at? What do you want? What? Oh. He gets really boisterous when we're streaming. He wants to go for his... What? He's not. He's just growling. It's because he can't get out of the room because Mariana's blocking the door. My goodness. Right. So there's the arrival. Lovely. Yeah, it's gonna be a lovely approach anyway. So I'm not going to complain. The fact it's the other one at all. And it gives us a little bit more time to chill out here. Grumbling Jack, I know. Thank you very much, Anthony Wallace, for the 10 New Zealand dollars. Very kind of you. He says, came to Wanaka near Queenstown from Scotland 5 years ago.
40, 30, 20.
That was to fulfill dream of PPL, never left. Oh wow, so you stayed there. Glad to see you in my local airspace. The general aviation and mountain backcountry flying here is spectacular. Thank you very much, Anthony. I couldn't even begin to think about how spectacular it is to fly around here with the scenery here. I mean, we visited the country in 2017 just to have a look around. And what was the place we saw that was amazing in New Zealand? We crossed the lake, the Sound, wasn't it? The other part of Auckland. It's like really nice houses that I think they're absolutely costly. Davenport, yeah, we went there. We thought if we could live anywhere in the world, we'd probably like to live in Davenport. If someone said to me, if you had a choice of wherever you could live, I'd probably say Davenport in Auckland. Beautiful country, I can't wait to visit again. But thank you very much, Station. I'm glad you get to enjoy flying around there. That's so cool. Yeah, man, Oxford Aviation Academy, they actually had a school in New Zealand, and a lot of us wanted to go there, but the main point for the guys to go to Auckland, to go to Arizona. Cool, so let's start stepping our way through this arrival. So there's the plan page. So we're going to be routing in via Elruv. It's a GNSS arrival. MSA very high, a lot of terrain around here. We're going to go from Elruv to Ekfox. Ekfox to Caslu. Caslu is to be at below flight level 170 and 160, perfect. At above 13,000 feet at Magba. Then to Gosper. Gosper at above 12,000, checks. Going onwards to QN 577 after Ibabu, but Ibabu is the initial approach fix, so there's no conventional holding here. They might, there is, look, so if it got busy they'd hold you at Ekfox or probably some sort of delayed vectors.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, Christchurch.
Go ahead.
Do you realise that the alpaca that's flying ahead of you at the moment had a birthday the other day? I'm sure your stream followers would be most interested to hear that.
I'm more than happy for you to mention that. Whose birthday was it?
Alpaca 2 on Tango that's flying ahead of you at the moment, who I promised I wouldn't embarrass again.
Alpaca 2 on Tango. For the 400 people watching the stream at the moment, happy birthday. Everyone in chat's going to say happy birthday to you now as well.
Wasn't that lovely? Christchurch Control New Zealand 651 with you on the ground, Christchurch on 121.
The Pantos are
Alpha holding for runway 20.
Oh dear. It's Daniel Hotmike. Brilliant. Happy birthday.
Yeah, you're doing intersection, are you?
Perfect. So looking at the RNAV approach then from
we're departing off Alpha 3.
Ibabu. And it's Daniel's birthday as well, I forgot, one of our members, so happy birthday to Daniel too today. Combine message. So QN 577 to be at 10,000. So this is an RNAV radius to fix approach.
We'll hold if we need to for any traffic.
So the idea is you leave it in RNAV and VNAV,
shortly to establish on finals, so,
and it does it for you. For example, my operator, we couldn't fly to this airport today and fly this approach. You need it's what we call an RNAV AR, which stands for authorization required. I don't actually know if this one does.
You've still got plenty of time if you ready to roll now.
I think we're okay on this one, but either way, you just have to essentially step through all these points. Yeah, there we are. So it is an RNAV authorization approval only.
Runway 20, clear for takeoff.
I'm just going to turn the volume down here, guys.
20, clear for takeoff, New Zealand 651.
So I couldn't just rock up here and fly this approach. I'd have to fly one of the conventional approaches. Oops. My volume control here.
Just Alpha 84, cleared the LRAV 2 Alpha arrival, run 05, ready to see 50.
Oh, I need to get a new mouse. My volume mixer keeps crashing, so every time I change the volume it's delayed. There we are. So this requires authorization to fly. Alpaca Airways has that. It's that most RNAV approaches, because this has this kind of radius to fixed turns, you have to have some sort of alerting system which will tell you if you're off it because of the complexity of it. But with the beauty of these approaches, they can build very complex approaches now with curved turns and things like that. But you need special approval to fly it. So yeah, we're going to go step down 9,200, 8,200 at 571. That checks. VNAV and LNAV will manage all of this for you. Configure accordingly. Down to 3,100 to Amubu, and it'll even get you quite close to the threshold in LNAV, which is really, really cool. I'm going to keep going down to the minimums, which is quite high, 2,300 feet, so we'll set that there. There's no frequencies to tune or anything like that.
Station code Christchurch, say again, last transition.
That's set there. All I'm going to do is select the runway QDM and on the track on the courses, just as a reminder.
Christchurch 651 airborne passing 1,800.
So we can land 05. We're going to have to backtrack here. So this is going to be quite interesting because Alpha taxiway is not wide enough for a 7.3, so you have to do a 180 backtrack vacate to Alpha. So you're going to have to space the arrivals to allow for that. Then we'll the parking stands later on there. So let's just confirm the final approach track, which is 053. Again, there's no requirement to do this. It makes no difference whether you do this or not. It's just as a kind of reminder that is the runway QDM. Cool. So I hope you're happy with that. The missed approach is very complex. You then have to step through it, make sure it's all coded correctly in the FMC. You don't have to add 40 feet to this because it is a precision approach using LNAV and VNAV. Answering your question, Boris. If it's got VNAV, it's cast as a precision approach. If it's LNAV only, you can't. But yeah, look at this missed approach, very complex. But notice this initial point, max 150 knots. So when we go around, we'd have to hold it at flat 15, which would actually be too fast for this. So a 737 probably have to get prior approval with flat 15 to make sure you can maintain this speed. Otherwise, you'd have to hold the landing flap out, which would be inefficient, won't give you the climb performance you need. But we won't be able to comply with that speed. Make sure it's coded. So we've got 54, 552, 556, 560. We'll go all the way out here to November Victor. So a lot of fuel required for the missed approach there. So to bear in mind, and we'd have to climb to 10,000 feet. So that's it. A lot of points here saying this approach cannot be flown if the temperature is between -10 and above 35. That's because there's altimetry errors associated with temperature. So you'd have to fly a different approach, perhaps an RNAV approach with LNAV minima, or the VOR approach you'd have to fly here with the temperature. Cool, so that's all set. We'll go back to the cruise page. Landing performance then. I'm going to try and enjoy this scenery for this approach.
Yeah, I'll make sure no worries, just you can take Queenstown approach now.
Just 1,800 metres, it's a pretty short runway, so this is definitely a flat 40, and because we're very light today, we're going to have realistic pitch power for a 60-ton aircraft as opposed to 50, so we're going to go flat 40 on a break 3, because we want to stop as soon as possible, so we're going to have to come back here and have to backtrack essentially, and then vacate via Alpha 4. This is not wide enough for a 7.3 at Alpha, so flat 40. Order brake 3 is going to be more than sufficient. Would I go order brake max? No, not really, because I've cooked the brakes, but we'll stop in an expeditious fashion. And we're going to burn 900 kilos, landing weight's going to be 55.7.
Sorry, Alpaca 137.
Flat 40, order brake 3, second detent base reverse brake calling, and then we'll call it a day. That's it. I hope that makes sense. Fix rings, I do, I've forgotten something.
And Alpaca 137, report airborne, runway 20, clear for takeoff.
/10, /4, /60. That won't make sense of us because we're going to be passing the airport. Look how the top of descent's all the way over there. That's because we're not flying straight in. We're going to go downwind around on a very long track. So there's no point putting the 3 times your height ring if you're not going straight in, because look at the top of descent's going to be all the way over there. But that's it. Super cool. Right, let's have a look at this spectacular scenery. we are. Can still hear ATC. Zoom level 16 ortho. Infinite Flight Deck, hello, hope you're doing well. When, if ever, would order brake max be used? Yeah, very short runways where the performance requires it. It's not a standard order brake setting we'd use, but we'd use it if required because it is very aggressive. It stops the aircraft very quickly. I've used it a few times into runways which are perhaps around 18 to 1500 to 1800 metres long and it's wet. Usually requires order brake max. Nice long line of traffic on the VATNZ map. There's no one flying at the North Island at all in New Zealand. It's all between Christchurch and Queenstown. We've got an aircraft just behind us. Jetstar 484. That's why I didn't want to rush the briefing, but the scenery here is awesome. It looks so good. That's why I wanted to go off. Ashley, that's you behind me. Ah, yes, so it is.
And all stations, Christchurch approach, pick up.
What did he say? All stations was? I missed that. The approach. I think we're going to have to do a stream in another aircraft here. Just go and explore this part of the world. Especially we've got the ortho here. If we go to around 10,000 feet, that would be awesome. There's not many places in the world which has everything, which is what New Zealand has. It has the mountains, the forests, the beaches. It's just spectacular.
310.
Tom Hop, isn't this an approach with vertical guidance? It is, yeah, with VNAV vertical guidance, so you use LNAV and VNAV.
And New Zealand 312 were established on 05. 20.
Take the Cessna to Milford Sound or something, it's a beautiful trip. Yeah, I think so. I've got the default 172. I might take one of the twins.
Echo 137, are you able to accept
Adam, can you fly to Africa? Yes, and I think the first time we go to Africa, probably we have a subscriber coming in here, I think he's a
40,
member.
30,
Toga, we're going to go to South Africa, I think Johannesburg, Cape Town at some point. 2 seconds today. Thank you very much, Abby, for your generous $15 donation, very kind of you. What's the difference between auto brake and speed brake, he asked? Well, Abby, auto brake is the wheel brakes, so like on your car. And what the auto brake does is after landing, it will give the aircraft a fixed rate of deceleration based on your auto brake setting. The higher the number, the quicker the aircraft will decelerate. The speed brake is something completely different. They're on the wing, that allows you to create more drag in flight, more parasitic drag. So you don't want to use it in level flight or when the thrust is up. You only want to use it when you're idle. You can use it in level flight if you have to slow down quickly. But it's a way in descent at which we want to increase our rate of descent or perhaps reduce speed quicker. So it just creates more drag. On the 737, it isn't as effective as you perhaps want it to be. The 737 is well known for being a very, the NG that is well known for being a very slippery aeroplane. So it's a tricky aeroplane to manage in the descent, especially if you need to do two things at the same time, which is one, go down, and two, slow down. If you're trying to do both things, even with speed brake, the aircraft will do it slowly. So you have to really compensate with that. But thank you very much for your donation, very kind of you. I hope I gave you a good enough explanation. Louis Hollis, when you use manual braking to stop the aircraft, what are the manual brakes? Yeah, just like your conventional car, you push on the brake to slow down. The pedals, doesn't matter if you're in a 7.3 or a Cessna, you push the top part here, it activates the wheel brakes. So on the landing roll, we let the auto brake decelerate the aeroplane, and typically as we slow down below around 100 knots or so, we start pressing the brakes manually to manage the braking ourselves. But just like your car, the harder you squeeze, the more brake force you have. It's as simple as that. You can also brake differentially, so if you not so much you do it in a 7.3, but certainly on a lighter aircraft, you can hold down one brake and then swing around the axis. You don't want to be doing that on the 7.3. You can do, but for certain sharp turns, but not standard practice.
Left-hand orbits, just your, I wouldn't be able to get to it. Otherwise we're going to have to hold you. Yeah, that's copied. I've also reduced Mac Decimal 7 because I know we're getting a bit close to our jet stuff already.
So I think that guy's getting a delayed vector. I think that was the guy who was just chatting to us in chat.
Christchurch is on 651. Come here, women cruise to 340.
So he's just giving us more spacing because he can't get us both in at the same time. There he is, turning. So cool. Gigamag 411, why flight level 200 not higher? Two reasons. We could have actually gone up probably to 340 for around a 20-minute cruise, but the reason was I wanted to have a bit of time lower to enjoy the scenery view. It's a little bit more inefficient, but we could have gone a tad higher. Adam, can you fly over the Arctic someday? Now, is that modelled with X-Plane 11? So I certainly remember in FSX.
November Zulu, contact Queenstown, approach 125, decimal 75.
125705. And like before, thanks again for the great ATC. Have a great day. Alpaca 8 November Zulu.
Pleasure to have you in our beautiful country.
Cheers, mate. Perfect. Very, very cool. We've got so many more places to explore, and it's nice to get. Some people recognise you. It's really cool. Right, let's contact Queenstown approach. Queenstown approach. Good day. Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Maintaining flight level 200. Inbound to Ekfox. Then LRUV expecting LRUV 2 Alpha 05.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, Queenstown approach, low again, send in the start profile 10,000, QNH 1032, just confirm you're on Yankee runway 05.
When ready to send 10,000 on QNH 1032, we can plan for our Nav Yankee Alpaca 8 November Zulu.
Had you planned for something else?
RNAV Zulu if possible.
The RNAV Zulu is for category Bravo aircraft, but the RNAV Yankee is pretty much exactly the same routing, it's just got different minimum approach.
Perfect. We'll fly the RNAV Yankee Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Perfect. So that's me not being familiar with the approach, not looking into it in detail. Let's go arrival. No, approach RNAV Yankee. Where is RNAV Yankee? I've got an RNAV Foxtrot, an RNAV Golf, an RNAV Hotel.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, you're trying to find the chart in Navi Bravo there.
50, 40, 30, 20.
He said something to me. I can't because someone donated. Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Yeah, I don't have that chart. Is there a chart you could recommend?
Yep, there's one on the New Zealand AID. I'll send you a link to that.
Oh, that's appreciated. Thank you. He's going to send me a link for the chart, but if it's a PDF, I'll quickly grab it into the folder so you can have a look at it. Thank you very much. Firstly, to Leon Bogman for the €5.50. Very kind of you. I was wondering how easy it is to overheat the brakes in real life. Does it happen sooner with a too high order brake and manual braking? Very good question, Leon. Yes, that's why we use reverse thrust, because if you don't use reverse thrust with auto brake, the fixed rate of deceleration would heat the brakes quicker. So yeah, reverse thrust will help reduce brake cooling, and they can get hot, and it can affect turnaround times as well. So thank you very much for the donation. And Chris Harris, thanks for the £5. Any plans to demonstrate an auto land on a future stream? Is it possible in the mod? Thank you very much, Chris, for the donation. We have someone who donates frequently asking for auto lands. Not possible in this approach. It will do it in the mod reasonably well, so we'll definitely do one soon, but it certainly takes the fun out of the approach. We like to fly it manually at all times, but the mod is capable of doing it. Right, anyway, let's just have a look at Alpaca approach. He sent me the link for the chart.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, just received that chart.
I've got it. Thank you very much, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Appreciate that. Perfect. So the aircraft. Let's go VNAV. Descent to 10,000. Super busy. Super busy. 1032. I'm just going to go level change. What do you mean 1,000 feet to go? I'm just going to go level change here, just to make sure we're going to go down. I'm going to bring the speed back to 250 because I had that restriction. But I'm actually going to have to go here. I've got the chart. Save as. I'll save this to my OFP folder, so I've got the chart so I can actually show you as well. Right, saved. But if it's as long as it's in the FMC, we're grand.
expect the RNAV Yankee approach from 05.
I love the rear. RNAV Yankee 05I, Ibabu, execute.
And expect the RNAV Yankee 05 just
So that's put us a little bit higher. We're going to miss that restriction here because it's a different restriction now. But I'm sure you'll let us off. Castlew's different here. So hopefully I can now actually show you the chart. Don't have to worry about the flight plan now. Oh, where's the chart gone? There it is. There you go. This is thank you very much, Queenstown approach, for sending me the correct chart we need. So this is the RNAV Yankee. So this will still take us all the way down. So this is for a Category C aircraft, so Navigraph need to update their charts. Someone actually messaged me to tell me this, I think, and I think I just said, oh, okay, don't worry. But then we actually needed it here. So we're going to go level change. That's going to help us get back to our profile. And once we're back on, we'll go to VNAV. Speed's good. So we're going to go via Ibabu, 577, 573, QN 571, 8,400. QN 571, it says 8,200 or above. So these are all at or above altitudes. I want to change all of these. Ah!
50,
yeah, super
40,
busy. Thank you,
30,
whoever donated as
20,
well.
10.
Will Bewley, thanks to the pound. He says there ain't no party like a sparrow dog party. Okay. Thanks, Will, for your continued balming us. Right, QN 577. Let's quickly go through all this. 10,000 feet or above. QN 573 and above 9,200. They're all incorrect, so I'd have to change all of these to match the chart. Slash 8,200 or above. QN 569 slash 7,100 above. Why they differ, I'm not 100% sure, but I've got to go off the chart. 569 done. QN 565 and above 6,300 above. Mogka slash 5,500 above. Mobu is at 3,100, perfect. So FMC's updated. We're still getting a bit high here, so speed brake's coming out. Really? I think that's high because of a restriction as opposed to not actually being high on profile, because we've still got 48 miles to go, so 15,000. So I'm just going to go level change here to get back onto the profile. So that's all set up. Minimums then, he did say the main reason was the minimums were different. So Category C, based on your RMP, so we're going to be RMP 0.3, which is my operator's RMP for approach. You can have more accurate RMP system. So we're going to set 22, 29, so it's very similar. But at least we're now doing the correct approach. Perfect, 22, 29.
Sorry, just want to confirm, you said now?
Cool. Missed approach then, step through the points. I'm hoping it's the same. It looks similar. Guys, I want you to enjoy the approach and the scenery. So. Good, RNAV Yankee 05, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Thanks for the charts, I appreciate that.
No
cool.
problem, and Alpaca 8 November Zulu, report passing...
50, 40,
Thank you.
30,
yes, sorry,
20,
passing,
10.
Where?
Sorry, it's not more, but a tiny token
Cool
of my
passing Mokka,
appreciation
Alpaca
of
November
everything
Zulu.
you teach us.
Oh, that's very...
Not just a fun skipper, but a truly great
thanks,
tutor.
Dougal.
Thanks, skipper.
Thank you very much, Dougal, for the £5 donation. He says, sorry, it's not more. Dougal, not at all. You know what I said about that, Dougal? Your donation put towards your Simwings project, but a tiny token of my appreciation for everything you teach us, not just a fun skipper, but a great tutor. Thanks a lot. Well, thank you very much, Dougal. Guys, go check out Dougal's Simwings project as well. It's certainly worthwhile having a look at. He's certainly helping people get into flight simming who perhaps couldn't. So thank you very much for the continued support, Dougal, and for coming in and helping me keep the stream tidy. Right, guys, I hope you're all happy. RNAV Yankee, sorry for the rush there at the end, but we wanted to make sure we're flying the correct approach. It's going to be an LNAV and VNAV. We stepped through the points. We've updated the FMC to match the chart. So yeah, enjoy. It's going to be a really, really beautiful approach to fly. I mean, look at the scenery here. There is Queenstown down there. There's the airport. Just enjoy. It's going to be really, really cool. We're going to do some cool flying around here anyway, in a light aircraft for sure. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you are enjoying the stream, especially my Australian, New Zealand friends. Try to get this video up to Hundreds and hundreds of likes. Thanks for subscribing. Lots of subscribers coming in today as well, which is great. I'm sorry I'm missing most of them as well. I saw we had Molgoon just joined as a subscriber. He wanted us to call Mogba. Where is Mogba? It's quite a way in actually. Oops, seatbelt sign can come on. We'll do the post-cruise checks now as well. So we're doing VNAV, that's going to give us 1,000 feet per minute, and we'll slowly capture the profile. We'll add some thrust for us as well. Fuel for pumps, lights on, logos off, APUs off, pressurization 4.0 set. Seatbelts on, recall, there we are, checks complete, and we are cleared for the procedure, so we can now step down.
Sorry to test you again. Actually, if you could report passing Quebec November 569, that would be better.
No problem, we'll call Quebec November 569 at Alpaca 8 November Zulu. I'll probably forget, but guys in chat try and remind me if we forget it. So we've got 170 knots or below apparently at QN 573. Is that coded? QN 573. There isn't a speed restriction. 3.2 climb path. Happy use at night only. Operator speed restrictions may apply.
1,000 to go.
Checked.
1,000 to go.
So there's no mention of speed here, so I'm actually going to get rid of the 170.
50.
Just do
40,
200 or below.
30.
Which is
20,
the clean speed.
10.
Execute. There we are.
Beware of orcs on the threshold at Queenstown.
Thank you very much, David Broge, for the £5. He says, beware of orcs in the threshold of Queenstown. We'll keep an eye out. Oh, what do you call those things that fly, which had Sauron's generals on? I can't remember what they're called. Right, anyway. We're on the approach now. In fact, I'm going to step down all the way. Usually step down at my operator 1 mile before each waypoint. I'm going to go straight down to our minimums here, 2,300 feet. Verify we've got VNAV path, speed windows.
Just our 484
I'm going to go flap 1 now, open the speed window.
Reduce slow as practical, so just start forward.
What an approach. Zoom level 16. I'm going to have to get around to switching mine from 16 to 17. 16 is fine, and it just makes my sim run so much smoother. What am I getting here? 50 FPS? Compared to the 30 I get there. Crazy. Sound the Hold of Gondor on approach. You got it, Christian. You're still yet to watch Lord of the Rings, aren't you? You fell asleep. I believe how you're going to offend a lot of people in chat there. Right, very good. VNAV is behaving perfectly. Look at that, 9,200 above. Even though I said 2,300, it's going, nope, you said 9,200 at Quebec November 57, whatever it is. Quebec November 573. So the VNAV is working perfectly. So we've got a little bit of a tailwind on the approach here, something to bear in mind. Look at this, wow. Now watch, I'm going to search on YouTube after the stream, is watching this approach being flown in real life. Look at that! You know, what you guys could, I say this and I'll say it every time because it's so cool. You guys could get this, you know, you can have this incredibly realistic experience for free. Everything I'm doing is for free. I just need to explain 11, Ortho 4XP, ZIBO mod, and it's like you're doing it in real life. I mean, how could you complain about this? Ever? What an approach. I don't need to look at the instruments.
Just our 484.
Yeah, exactly listed, except to explain it itself.
What do I head over? Just start forward.
Thank you very much, Plain Old Ben, for the £2 donation. He says, just class, incredible scenery and interesting Arda. Thank you very much, guys. If you don't know Plain Old Ben, he has a YouTube channel where he flew for an airline that unfortunately went redundant, and he's unfortunately furloughed too and looking for an airline job. So I hope that does well. And guys, go check him out as well. Thank you very much for your kind tidbit there. Very kind of you. But yeah, look at that. So that blinking autothrottle amber light tells me that the autothrottle cannot manage that speed, and see how it's running away. That's been recently updated. So we're going to go flap 5 now. I'm just going to bug 180, just sort of the speed I want to be doing on this approach. Of course, I can't follow this because this is the chart provided by the controller. Alpaca 8 November Zulu, overhead Quebec November 569.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, wonderful. Contact tower 118.1. Good luck.
118.1, and thanks a lot for your help, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Bye now. Cool. There we are. So there's tower. Down we go into the valley. That's not so good. We've got a cloud on the ortho, but that one's looking good.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
That came in late. Don't know why it was so late then. Thanks, Vale Ben. Wouldn't want an engine failure here. Nope. I mean, we want an engine failure anywhere, but especially here.
At or below 5,000 feet, I've got a number of IFR aircraft inbound, so if you could just make it as quick as possible, that would be greatly appreciated.
Mesjan, how is your ortho looking so great? My mountains are so blurry. I mean, this is it depends on the quality of the original photo on whatever source you're using. So Bing Maps, clearly they have high quality resolution here, and I've got a zoom level which fits it too. Look at that. Yeah, IMC in this, no fun. Queenstown Tower, good day. Alpaca 8 November Zulu. We're now inbound on RNAV Yankee for runway 05. Overhead Mogpa.
Hello, British voice. Alpaca 8 November Zulu, hello. And departing A320 will be with approach shortly, and wind 0205. Runway 05, clear to land.
That's copied, runway 05, clear to land, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. A little bit unfamiliar here after landing backtrack.
Vermin, if you could try to expedite, that would be deeply appreciated.
We'll go Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Perfect, so we can clear to land. Just to let landing checks come. Someone wanted a train ND on. Well, yes, there you go. There's no weather here, to be fair. We'll bug the flat 5 speed now. There's outer distance you could do, but they're outer above, to be fair. It's one of these RNAV authorization. You can see where you should roughly be. Must beware of all the terrain around you. If you have to go around, make sure you are fluent on the missed approach. Make sure LNAV's engaged, very important on this missed approach, because you don't want to deviate from the missed approach track.
And New Zealand.
Edge anti-ice on? Yeah, I mean, we're only just going to be in and out the cloud, so yeah, there's no point really.
Queenstown approach on 125.75.
125.75, 682.
A little bit turbulence here.
103 Queenstown Tower.
Wayne, where's your plane on chart? This chart was actually sent to me from the approach controller because we didn't have it. Navigraph doesn't have the chart.
Level 240 departing via the Antpol.
So the runway is here, behind this little ridge here. Now this is the beauty of the, well there it is, look, this is the beauty of these RNAV authorization requires. They could just, if there's a little hill in the way, it doesn't matter, they could just build a little curve in it and just let the aircraft to route round it. That's the beauty of these approaches. That's terrain noted, which is the missed approach here. What is this chart I've been given? I can't find the missed approach altitude anywhere. I think it's 9,200.
I'm going to have to reach back the clearance.
I could put 9,000.
So you include Christchurch via flight plan route.
Missed approach altitude sets. Get out flat 15. Just going to turn the volume down here slightly. Landing checks flaps, start switches continuous, recall checked, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, order brake set to 3, flap 40, low 162 knots, that's fine. So flaps, we've got 40 green light, lights are on, checks complete. Always make sure you've got your cross-check error checked as well, and your AOP's lost an RMP, which it is. It's perfect. We've been cleared to land. Check is complete. There's the runway. RNAV's going to do a little turn for us as well. That's the beauty of these approaches. Missed is 10,000, is it? Lovely.
Approaching minimums.
Perfect. Right, disconnecting.
minimums.
Continue. It's got a train caution there, worth noting. That a caution would mean manoeuvre away from that. Train warning would be a mandatory terrain escape manoeuvre. So, looking good. Oh, it's turbulent here. This is not induced. This is a little bit of turbulence. Right, 3 reds, tad low, so I'm just going to pitch up slightly. There you are, back on the profile. Keep it descending. Yes, note the waterfall feature of the river, which was pointed out one of the members yesterday. It's not quite there in real life.
Approaching 05.
Checked.
If you're able to.
So as soon as you landed, we'll stop as soon as we can, backtrack for the controller. There we are, there's the centre line, no wind, that's good, but it is a bit turbulent for whatever reason. 3 whites, make a slight correction. Checked. Didn't recycle the flight directors, that's because this is coded to get you all the way down to the runway, so you can leave that information in. Checked. Still a tad high, there we are, there's back on the profile. Why is it so bumpy? Right, keep descending.
300, 200.
That's the terrain. Tad high, but not a problem. Oh yeah, 30 metre wide, I forgot to mention that.
50, 40.
Check. Close. Hold the attitude. Oh, not bad. Minus 150. Right, speed brakes up, reverses. I held it off a little bit, which I shouldn't have. Max reverse thrust, 100 knots. Manual braking.
80 knots.
And there's 60 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Queenstown. So they've got a little turn point here for us. It is only 30 metres wide. We're down. Not quite a butter, but a great landing nonetheless. And we'll turn it around here for our controller.
You don't have to tell the controller that you're going to stand by.
Yeah, Roger.
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, without delay, backtrack runway 05 to hold point Alpha 4 and then taxi gate 2.
About delay, backtrack, runway 05, and we'll vacate. Just confirm the exit point and stand number. Am I going to be on the runway here?
Alpha 4 and gate 2, break Papa Delta Romeo, change of plan, length runway 32.
Perfect, come on. We're just about on the runway, very tight here, it's only being 30 metres. Right, let's go.
3.
And Alpaca 8 November Zulu, hold short of the intersecting runway.
Hold short, beam the intersecting runway, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Oh, this is tough. I've got no chart. Where's my apron charts? Right, close.
103 push and start is approved. Time now.
Oh no, I've completely lost it now. Ah! Where's my taxi stand? I don't have a taxi stand. I can't vacate there.
The 737 will hold on the crossing runway, runway 32, clear to land.
Someone's cleared to land on runway 32, so I've got to hold short of the runway here, I think. Ah, where is it?
November 9 Golf Hotel, did you get your VFR clearance?
No. Avitab. No, it's not Avitab. What am I doing? It's airports. Oh. Right, he said hold short of 1432, so there we are. He did say hold short 1432, I'm pretty sure, but I was busy taxiing. There's the runway there. Is there anyone on approach?
Golf Hotel, readback is correct. Call me start.
Okay, I can't see any aircraft on that. Tower, Alpaca 8 November Zulu, just to make sure we're all on the same page here. Did you just confirm hold short of runway 1432?
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, affirm, stay exactly where you are. I've got a Cirrus landing on the parallel.
Hold in position, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Perfect, so yeah, if that wasn't 100% clear, I knew I had to hold...
Alpaca 8 November Zulu, for your information, what I can leave to continue taxi just without delay, Alpha 4, please.
Yeah, we can make it continue to taxi via Alpha 4, and I think for the 3rd time, just confirm the stand number, sorry.
Well, you've got a selection, hold position, hold position, hold position.
Okay, hold position, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. He did say expedite.
We'll get there eventually. Alpha 4, and then stand 4, 2, or 1, it's up to you.
Hold position, Alpha 4 will take any of those stands, Alpaca 8 November Zulu. Oh my goodness. Now I got a bit confused there because he said if you expedite, I was like, okay, yeah, oh, we'll expedite it. But then he was like, hold position. But where is this? Where is this traffic? I mean, there he is. Ah, we could have made that. We could have made that for sure. But anyway, here he comes in. Oh, he's had an engine failure. Rip.
Jetstar 103, ready to taxi.
Jetstar 103, hold position.
Well, he wanted me to expedite because I thought an aircraft was landing, so that was sort of the rush we needed.
Runway 23 on runway 23.
Delta Romeo, thank you very much. Turn, clear the backtrack if needed, runway 32, taxi, general aviation.
Well, I think when we do our light aircraft flight, we'll
Back at 8 November Zulu, without delay, continue taxi, Alpha 4.
Alpha 4, Alpha 8 November Zulu. We got there.
Approaching.
So next left Alpha 4.
Jetstar 103, runway 05.
Get the AP on.
Point Alpha 3. Caution the 737 taxi to a stand.
So we're going to take, let's have a look here. It's not very clear. But we'll take the stand here, I think, 'cause it's the only one we could. Well, there's one little one here. We're going to take stand 4. Perfect. So that can come off.
Jetstar 103, can you repeat that?
Perfect. We got there eventually. And there's stand 4. Perfect.
9 Golf Hotel, are you ready to taxi?
Yeah, just can't find the transponder, but if we're okay to stay on
Did she?
1200.
Oh my goodness me, what happened? He said, I like it when he said he can't find the transponder.
November 9 Golf Hotel. In your
I stopped turning
flight,
left. Come on,
you've
there
got
we go.
Golf Sierra Quebec.
There we are.
And
Yeah.
space.
Now it's going left. The mod does this sometimes. I think when you're going slow, you try to turn, it just doesn't carry on with the turn. Right, there we are. We're now in the right direction. There we are. Right. Parking brake is set. My goodness me. Right, AP's on the bus. 2 blues, 1 red. Engines are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Jetstar 103, about delay taxi.
come on. Welcome to... Oh my goodness, man.
Taxi holding for Alpha 3, Jetstar 103.
God, why won't you get off? There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, oh dear, Queenstown. My goodness, we finally made it in one piece without crashing into anyone. No mountains were hit, nothing like that. All looking good. Oh dear. Oh, what a flight. What an experience on VATNZ as well. That was very, very enjoyable. I think I'm just going to disconnect now before I have any more issues. I think that controller could be cross with me. Oh, wow. So great. What an approach as well. But yeah, I was a bit confused there because obviously we're told to hold short, which we got. And then he said something about expediting, if we can expedite. I was like, okay. So we started, oh no, old position. But we got in the way. We didn't hear anything. We'll make sure that Jack gets the required reports, of course, as well. But guys, thank you so much for this really enjoyable stream. Nice to eventually come to a different part of the world and at a time which is convenient to my friends in Australia and New Zealand who could perhaps watch a stream. And also East Asia as well. So I had a guy from Japan here as well, which was really, really cool. So, excellent. We'll... have a look at the replay very shortly. Let's have a little look at the text on approach. That was really nice. Mr. was 10,000. Thanks for confirming that, guys. But obviously, yeah, the rush on the approach because we got the incorrect one in there after we realised it wasn't actually filed with Navigraph, so we had to get a new chart. Thank you very much to the controller who sent that. Mountains are like a wind tunnel. Windy due to the mountains, I guess. I don't know how accurately that's modelled by Active Sky, but it certainly looked good there. I've got some no butters, landing like a real pro. I tried Leon. The flat 40 helps as well. On Sunday, it's not Friday. Someone said butter or go around. Yeah, exactly. That's the Sunday stream. Someone said break. Yeah, we stopped as soon as we could. And then lots of emojis associated with the banter coming in there. But great. Let's have a look at the replay. And we'll call that a day now for New Zealand. There we are. Well done for the mod. Surviving the entire stream without X-Plane being shut down once. So here we are, coming over the threshold. You can see, look, I was being bumped around a little bit here. 738/10 would fly again, said listen to it. Dougal says also stream, thank you very much, man. Let's turn those sounds up a little bit. It was perfectly acceptable for this runway. Look how I locked my attitude in. I wasn't stretching out for butter for two reasons. I knew there was well, he said an aircraft was on short final there, so but then again it wasn't. It was okay. We didn't block the runway for too long. Let's have a look at this one. Lovely. The butter had a great landing today. Very acceptable. Let's have a look for the tower. It's a little bit higher. Would have ideally touched down sooner, but very happy with that in Queenstown today. Perfect. Alright guys, so thank you very much for everyone that popped in today, especially my friends from New Zealand and Australia, as I've already mentioned before. Thank you very much to everyone that donated as well. That was all very, very kind. To the moderators, thank you for keeping it tidy. I see there was a few little issues there, but of course you're well on the ball, keeping the stream nice and tidy, so thank you again to you. And for everyone that's subscribed and joined as a member, we'll catch up with you later on Discord. It's very unusual to finish a stream at lunchtime, so we're going to grab some lunch, and then I'll be around on Discord for most of the day anyway, and we'll plan the next stream on Sunday, the Sunday Fun Day stream. Again, aircraft, what we're going to do, I haven't decided, but of course we'll have the quiz lined up, the giveaway as well, and then we'll enact the butter or go around rule as well for our Sunday Fun Day stream. Guys, stay safe as ever, and I look forward to seeing you then, and thanks for subscribing and liking, and that's it guys. Take care, enjoy the rest of your Friday or Saturday morning if you're over that back of the woods, and we'll see you then. Bye bye for now.